Howdy, folks, and welcome to Adventures in Alberon, our 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign. I'm Joe Treff, your Dungeon Master for the evening, and joining me are Matt, Miles, Ali, and Tina, the players for the entire 2 years that this campaign has been going. Very quick set of announcements for this week before we just jump into the game, which I'll scroll up to right now because I was totally prepared. There is on our website, alberonrpg.com, under the Lore tab, an update to the Dungeoneer's Guide to Dominion. This document is everything that you need to run your D&D game in Dominion, the setting that this entire adventure is taking place in. It's about 45 pages long at the moment. It's going to end up being around 233. It looks like 233 to 240. So far, we're almost done through the class list. So it gives you examples of some of the classes and where they might fit into Alberon, and then also for each class a very famous example. Some of which you guys have met, actually many of which you guys have met or heard about. So there's that. So check that out, alberonrpg.com. And then the only other thing that I have to announce, because we have a whole bunch of stuff happening in the background, but that's a little bit down the line. We're using Sirenscape, so the theme song that you can hopefully hear behind you, that is from Sirenscape, although it was created by the user 1000 Take Wonder on Reddit. And I think that's all we have for announcements for this evening. So hang on one sec and let me get us ready for this recap. All right. Finger Gang, last that we played. At long last, you arrived at 1000 Gates. The soldier that you met at the gate began to sort of ask you questions. He called them the usual questions, but decided that it wasn't really worth it. He warned you that there was not enough manpower currently to guard prisoners, and so that any kind of acting out would sort of correct itself. You found food and drink at the Wildleaf Inn, with an outdoor bar that served exquisite food and a pretty decent beer. You got a pair of rooms, Heinrich and Shae, you taking this kind of long room with 3 twin beds, and Guntir and Morwen, of course, taking a much nicer room with the king bed and the open sort of barn doors that give you a massive view of the sky outside at night.
And then, of course,
we'll get there. Meanwhile, you guys decided to all immediately leave the room. Heinrich and Shae, you taking a moonlit stroll through the city that you have just arrived. Guntir and Morwen, you snuck out, despite the fact that you were alone, and also that you're adults.
Guntir snuck out. I didn't.
Morwen, you lowered Guntir down through the awning, dropping him 8 feet to the ground, and then wisely took the stairs yourself. You spent some time shopping. You met the no-nonsense Olmsworthy prior to heading back for a good night's rest. Olmsworthy not really taking too kindly to Guntir. Heinrich and Shae, on your walk, Shae, with your keen eyes, you saw the entire city of 1000 Gates unfold in front of you. This sort of basin city that rises up at the tops, completely dotted with castles and battlements, catapults, trebuchets, kind of cresting each of these buildings. As part of your investigation, you noted a few things, but chief amongst them was a section of the town that had been destroyed during an attack 2 weeks ago. Just as you began to head back, you noticed the familiar smell of pipe leaf, reminding you, Heinrich, of the doxed home. You investigated to find a small bar, Baglado's Outpost, a beautiful little space hidden away in a nook of a castle, alongside one of the nicer red wines that you've had in recent memory. Better than even the drinks were the company. You heard her before you saw her, but finally, after more than a year apart, I think at this point, real life, you saw Rhodesia, the acquaintance to Heinrich and friend to Morwen from back in Port Quinn. After talking a little bit and having a few drinks, you brought Ro back to the Wildleaf and drank late into the night. Morwen, you regaled both Tia the bartender as well as Rhodesia about your journeys and adventures, a 2-hour tale punctuated It's a tale of grief and heroism, bravery, and decided the ultimate lesson learned was that Guntir shouldn't eat eggs. And somehow from Guntir, Morwen, you were able to tell Ro that you sold her shop, but she had left in your care after the death of her husband, Petus. Yes, that is his name. You guys can laugh if you would like now.
Petus!
The next day, your group went to investigate. You learned, Heinrich, that this section of the town was attacked from within and that an herbalist named Desir had gone and gotten your mother a job at the Sober Scholar, sort of the end of this area. As you approached, you were met by Euthilius, the gaunt, tall star elf with the pale, almost silvery skin. He was glad to receive you, especially you, Heinrich, initially. He pulled you away from the group and confirmed Azra's involvement with this attack. He showed you these bodies with a very familiar purple kind of fungus beginning to take hold. Upon returning to your friends, Guntir again helped you connect yourself to Azra for Euthilius. He asked you about your involvement, and by the skin of your teeth, you were able to, for the moment, stonewall the Harbinger. For a time. Euthilius turned his attention northward and was now set to visit Squall's End. As he walks out the door in front of you is open, the iron hinges slightly askew. The walls inside are charred, as if direct flames have been carefully applied across patches of the ground and wall. The furniture is rudimentary. You see like an 8-foot long counter, a couple chairs. Outside, you can hear now the beginnings of heavily armored figures moving. And at first, your heart races just for a little bit. You can see now kind of just stepping up to the doorway, the heavy footsteps, the armor kind of rattling, and then almost like close to 7 feet tall in the full plate mail armor, there is the looming figure of one of the Bellator Tempest paladins that you had seen previously, the white tabard bequeathed with the winged sword icon of Tempest, the god of war. He steps right to the threshold, still outside. The helmet turns. It's this great helm. There is a sword that goes down the front of it, these eye slits, and then the wings that go across. And then just turns and continues to move on. Seems to be going in the direction that Euthilius went. But it's mostly cloudy, fairly warm compared to the reaches of the north that you've spent a lot of time in. Right in the afternoon. And Finger Gang, what would you like to do?
Who was that guy?
I'm gonna turn to Heinrich and... What now?
Well...
Heinrich, who's your friend?
No idea what to do now.
What'd your friend say?
Guntir, you were there, and able to hear, I know. Not able to speak back, and I wish I had gotten that one from him, but... he plans to head to the north to investigate what's going on with the connection to Azra and everything, and all he showed me was the seeming breach between... Oh god, what's it called? The place that everyone went to.
Calypso's?
Calypso's, thank you. Yeah, Calypso's in here. And, I mean, there's no obvious way to get back there, nor do I think jumping directly into it would be wise.
So he doesn't know your mother?
Not individually, no. But he showed me all of the bodies that were there, and
so
it seems like some of the burning banner was attacked. I don't know exactly what the hell is going on, but there was a breach.
Where your mom is?
Yeah, she's in Calypso, so we already know that.
Yeah.
But if this thing he described to me escaped into this realm, and it's still here,
just add it to the list of growing problems.
Yeah, well, I mean, on a scale of 1 to fucked, how fucked?
I feel like anything relating to Azra is of utmost fucked priority.
So an 11.
Yeah, I don't know what scale you're going off of, but
It's out of 9.
Morwen knows a lot of numbers for somebody who doesn't know languages really that well.
Ah.
Only 9 and never mind.
I thought you. Okay, moving on.
Jesus. This is like the
Okay.
second time that's happened to me today.
Oh God! All right. Anyways, moving along. So, if this winged angel-like, but potentially of death, creature did
Angel
actually came to this world and escaped, I mean, maybe we should go around the town asking to see if that was true, if that actually happened.
We're going around
'Cause-
asking about angel butts?
No.
Oh.
If that's what you think would be helpful.
So wait, we're
It's
not
the
gonna
only
go
thing
make the
left
staff?
over.
I thought we were doing the staff thing.
Look, I guess now that we're here and my mother isn't, and there's no way to get to Calypsos from here directly, all I'm
But
going to
you
be
said
doing
this-
is kind of tagging along looking for anything related to getting to Calypsos. So staff would probably be a wise decision. But we're here, so maybe, I don't know.
Ah.
You said you had a vision or something of where all of these places may be that, or no, wait, I actually have a list of places we can ask around.
Yeah.
And see if maybe one of them is nearer here than to the north, where we
Well,
would have to go very far back.
unfortunately, we will need the pieces if we plan on using any of those, which we'll
Right.
have to return to the north anyway.
That's true.
Oh my gosh, are you telling me? So, where's the nearest teleportation circle?
Yeah, are we going all the way back?
Guntir, make a history check. You haven't used them, but you do know about the Sojourn network, and there may be one nearby.
That is a 19.
19. Okay. Let me just pull up the list because you would certainly know.
Ah.
So first of all, you remember the Sojourn network. It's this sort of series of teleporters that are privately owned. There are these sort of individuals that are able to utilize them, and they will, for a pretty hefty price, send you and the people that you would like to send to any in the network. The network expands beyond Dominion. It goes to a large variety of places.
Would I know anyone in particular from said network?
With a 19, let's see. You would know that there is a. You wouldn't know any of the people because they aren't. It's not like they're pretty quiet. There is a certain element of secrecy. They don't release the people that
Secret is my middle name.
Yes, and the money does pay for a certain amount of privacy. So you cannot ask people if you can't go and say, "Hey, has somebody been through here recently?" It's not going to fly.
You know what? I bet that Ohmsworthy guy would probably know.
Perhaps we could also ask Euthilius if he will take us with him. He did offer once before.
Who's Euthilius?
The guy who was just here, Guntir. Though if we are doing that, we need to do it quickly.
Oh, that guy, the dusty man who was talking with Heinrich?
Yes,
dusty
Guntir.
man.
Ah,
Right.
Dusty.
Look, yeah. I don't know, something about his righteous intention seems a little, not off to me, but dangerous.
I didn't like him. He seems kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, his affiliation to the Church of the Six is something that you would assume would make a person, I don't know, seem a little more benevolent, but he seemed a little off-putting to me.
You know what they say about assuming?
Men of the cloth are frequently men of ideals.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, look at me.
You're barely wearing cloth at all, Guntir.
I know, because now I've got all this nice dragon scale.
All right. Look, I want to do something before we leave. If you want to catch up with him, go right ahead.
Catch up with who?
I thought we were gonna go with Ro to.
Well, if we don't need to, why would we throw ourselves into harm's way? If we have a goal, let's stick to it.
What
There's
is
no-
it?
Collecting pieces of the staff, it seems like. We need to
Okay.
rebuild it somehow.
Well, I have to say goodbye to her.
Yeah.
But you just said that the Astra was a priority.
The what?
The Astra.
The angel butts?
I'm just gonna turn and walk
Yeah.
back towards the blown up potion shop.
Okay.
Just kinda like
We gotta
walk with
figure
him.
this out.
Heinrich, you and Shae make your way down the steps. They creak pretty loud. Guntir, you follow.
I
Well,
mean,
we can't.
I'm gonna follow. I'm not gonna be alone.
I'm not trying to be alone either. I just was like, I had a realization of something, and I want to go check it out.
You begin to walk, and you can see off to your right, there is this kind of almost imploded sort of shop. Tall, you see the panes of glass that at one point had formed almost like a greenhouse ceiling shattered inward. Interesting to note, whereas before, when you had arrived, there was a perimeter of these paladins. They have pulled inwards, and Heinrich, to where you had been previously, where
Mhm.
those bodies were, where those 3 stone coffins of sorts were,
Mhm.
they formed almost a very tight perimeter in that region. Amongst those hastily erected tall wooden walls, and where there was that kind of fire, it is now blazing. And it's not a normal orange flame. This is almost white with these tinges of teal that are flecking off in sparks.
Mhm. Ah,
What's going on over there?
well, looks like there's no evidence to be gathered anymore. I can assume, right? If everything is on fire.
I mean, make a.
That's literally what I see in front of me is the building I was just in.
I'm gonna
Currently
catch
on fire.
up to Heinrich and be like, "Hey, what's going on here?" Guidance.
It's not a okay. It's not a building. Guntir touches you, and you feel, a little jolt.
What are they burning over there?
If you want to make a perception check, you can. It's fairly well obfuscated. Alternatively, if you would like, you can make a for your.
Nod
I would
check.
say it would be an Arcana check.
You should have Nod eagle eye over it.
That's actually a good point. I haven't had her out since we got to town. Okay, I'm gonna go find an alleyway nearby.
Yep.
And
Where are you
It's like
going
where
now?
You can go to the left and duck between this building and
Yeah.
like the crumbled parts that are almost like it was like a stone archway for an alley that's kind of caved in.
Cool. And then I'll sort of squat down so
Okay.
I'm out of sight,
Sure.
and I will summon
Oh, dear.
Nod.
Okay.
Ah.
It's not too hard to do. There's nobody in this part of the
You got
town.
your
It's,
bird
it's,
out.
you know, so you duck out and this celestial owl appears. You can see the eyes shut, almost as if it was asleep, and then they kind of one of them just pops open.
All right.
Initially annoyed, but then very happy to be out.
Like, all right, we got a little job to do. I need you to go and fly to. Well, I'll guide you. Let's do this, and I'll have her
Okay.
take off like in a way that's
Guide who?
not directly
you're talking
towards
to
the
the
old
bed
potion
now.
building, and then fly around in like a wide arc, and then just see if there's a way to land and check out the area where he showed me the body of the burning banner and like
Sure.
the mushrooms and all that shit.
Okay, so make a perception check for
Yeah. That's the thing.
Make a
Like, if I
perception
need to
check for
stealth
Nod.
with him, if I need to stealth with her too, because I don't want her to be spotted.
Okay, make a stealth check for Nod if you would try to keep.
Do I need
this,
to
bird hidden.
transfer my guidance to Nod as well?
Because the owl is just kind of flying away.
Yeah.
If you have some way of throwing your guidance, then the guiding bolts, maybe that will work.
What I would argue is that the perception check I'm doing through Nod will get the guidance, whereas the stealth won't because it's
Yeah.
just Nod's stealth itself.
Oh, you're sending your bird out to go do a reconnaissance.
that works.
I wish
Honestly,
I had
the-
thought of that.
The mechanics of the spell, that would make sense.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm like holding it until I do the use of guidance, which is me.
Good idea,
through the
Heinrich.
eyes. Sure. And he use it. All right. Advantage. Okay, perfect. +4, 22 for stealth. Fuck
22.
yeah.
Okay. So Nod goes like kind of down the alley first and then rises slowly. And at the very end, you see just curves around the building and rises up out of sight for a moment, kind of sticking low. You close your eyes, and as you are pulled into your owl's consciousness, you feel the wind going by your face. You smell you smell intensely now with the keen senses of an owl. This like it's burning meat, but there is a distinct sourness to it. But you keep Nod close to the building tops and kind of going right over tiles. The fireplaces are just kind of whisking by these bricks and bits of smoke kind of stinging your eyes, but almost pleasant with the rush of wind. You come over top and swing over the town. You can see people passing now late in the afternoon, not late, early in the afternoon. Um, People are going to and from inns. There is already a decent amount of drinking occurring. Um, but you continue and wind back up, and you end up going over to the top of what looks like a bell tower. There are a few of these in this area. And from that vantage point with Nod, you can certainly look. From over top, you can see that central blaze. There are bodies that are actually crumbling into ash into the interior with the force of this fire. It is certainly arcane. The teal nature of it reminds you of your own magic. You can see Euthelius, hands clasped, just gazing intently into this fire. These 3 stone coffins, still there. They have been pushed together, and you can see one of these paladins kneeling down, kind of inscribing different runes beneath them.
Okay.
The paladins themselves, there are 8. You kind of count them one by one, all of them imposing figures. But most have formed a perimeter and are now, whereas before they were certainly vigilant, they now have like hands on the hilts of swords. They're ready and seem to be much more alert. You get the sense, kind of given everything here, it seems as if Euthelius is preparing to take these 3 stone coffins somewhere.
Okay. So the original idea, and this is all good info, the original idea was to get in there, but obviously can't because it's burning and they're doing all this stuff, so this vantage point's fine. I wanted to see if I could figure out what the pieces of the summoning spell or whatever the magic was in that potion brewing that caused this breach between worlds.
Okay, so
And start learning
seeing
that
this,
if we can't find a way and still need to go there or want
this
to,
fire
or
is
whatever.
almost like 50, 60 feet away from the potion shop. So if you want, Nod can like easily jump
That's where I
up, go,
want.
and then dip in. Yeah, no problem.
Exactly. Use
So
it to spy to find basically, even if it's a writing list of ingredients or whatever the fuck, like snoop
Sure.
around, find any information on that.
this, so the owl kind of hops once and then again, kind of looking and sweeping the scene before it takes off, fluttering, and then coasts lazily over. From your vantage point, you see the broken bits of glass, still some flat parts hanging, jagged in the sort of metal panes that held them together. You can see down to this dark space. There is a tremendous amount of scorching. It looks as if it was intentionally. And now thinking about the house that you were in, again, this is very intentionally applied fire. It looks as if, to your point, there has been an attempt to maybe remove evidence, but also thinking about these spores, it could just simply be to try to prevent the spread of Azra's influence in this
Right.
realm. But no problem, Nod, alights, and just kind of hopping. There is elements of a counter. Just one second. So you're looking for any kind of hints as to what happened?
How?
How? Okay.
As in, the easiest, most obvious thing would be here's a list of components and incantations to do what I did. Signed, the potion person who fucked up.
Yeah.
But
That's
obviously,
how it
any other
works.
information would be helpful too.
Yes. The list of instructions that remained intact, hidden
Yeah, exactly.
underneath the counter.
She
Yeah.
wrote them on a stone tablet, knowing that she would have to burn it afterwards or something.
So,
Bust
going
out
over
the
there,
chisel.
using your old perception check, there's a few things that strike your interest. The place has been
Say-
badly.
A number of things.
You see nothing. It is just an empty space.
Hey, I didn't talk.
No. There are a few things that you see. You can see even within the burnt kind of embers, or not embers, the burnt, almost like charcoal that has become the floor. broken in places. It looks like in the bits of wood that are still somewhat intact, there are the marks of pincers, very similar to ones that you've seen in the Frostmare Inn, those large worm-like creatures that you first encountered in Helm's Temple back in Port Quinn. And as Nod kind of approaches that and looks, you can see just shriveled up and popped, just like it's like the husk of a very large maggot, blackened on the outside and hard. You would see also, very different to your point, there are elements of like ripped cloth. And as Nod kind of pops over, you can have Nod just kind of like pull at it and stretch it out. It is this white kind of material, just grimy. It looks as if it had been logged with water at some point. And there's a weird pattern to a burn around the edge of it. And thinking about it, there are elements of it that remind you of the brand on Guntir. This kind of crackling, almost lightning-like burns into the fabric, just around the edges. Make a history, or make a flat intelligence check, straight intelligence.
10.
Something about it seems familiar, but it's hard to kind of pull.
That's okay.
It's
I'll
from
just
a long
have
time
Nod bring
ago.
it back.
Okay.
If that's
So-
the only important thing. that
Well, so
she sees.
Nod kind of gets that and pulls around. You also see there is this like at some point was a hutch, like a kind of cabinet with a glass front. The glass isn't broken. You can see it's actually smooth, where it's kind of almost melted at some point. Within there are a number of glass bottles. Some of them have burst from the inside. There is elements of different kinds of like mushrooms that you can see in that one. Nothing that really would bring you kind of to Azra, perhaps. Yeah, there's not a whole lot left in there.
That's okay. I mean, I know that we can always go. I can always go call. What's his name at the Lorebinder Academy, because that's where she found the spell. So
Yeah, you could certainly talk to Boron.
But if we're heading north again, maybe we can pit stop. And if no one else wants to, then I will call instead.
So
bring back the cloth, and I'll show it around everyone. See if
okay.
it
So Nod returns,
strikes anyone's.
lands with this scrap of cloth. Guntir, make an intelligence check. You can make it at advantage.
Straight intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
That is an 18.
Okay. The owl onto Heinrich's shoulder. You hear the metal kind of give a little bit underneath this light. Even this light little owl with a pretty big impact is holding this like cloth that's almost the size of it.
What'd your owl bring?
As soon as it falls across Heinrich's shoulder, you see these faint elements of patterns that you last saw in Cord's temple. This scrap of fabric yanks you first to this room that you remember. It was long, narrow, this coffin kind of thing at the end, tall, like 11 feet tall. And within it, there was the remains, kind of old armor that had been assembled as if it could almost move on its own. It was wearing this kind of flowing robe, almost like a skirt nearly. And then you remember later, towards the end of your time within that temple, you fought that very figure. That large celestial being.
And we fought it.
You certainly did.
Hey!
And you almost
Didn't
died.
we see one of those from the thing that almost killed us?
Which time, Gunter?
That's what it.
It was the one in the Temple Accord.
It was when you remembered that lady's name. It was right after that. Or right before that.
Oh,
right after.
Right after that. From Hilda. Anyways, I don't think she's related to it, but I remember that creature for sure.
Heinrich,
I
you
also
know
just
you can't
remembered
just bring
that-
that up randomly to
Gunter, whether you
Why not?
react to it or not, when he says that, there is this moment where in your mind you are violently yanked back to that space where you had looked into a wall where the rest of your friends had only seen stone, but you saw this dark storm and clouds moving by. And in the crackling lightning and the illumination it provided, you saw just the hint of the woman that you once loved. And then you were back in 1,000 Gates.
Because look at him. He just did that crazy, like, kind of
Oh,
thing.
right. It's one of his no words.
ah,
Yeah. His eyes go everywhere.
More than usual, yeah.
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 what are we talking about?
Right, the being that we fought. I think it or one of its
Oh yeah,
type
it was
here. That may
the
have been
thing
what
that tried to
burst
smush me.
through. Yeah, but what's it doing in Azra's service? Unless it wasn't?
I don't know. I mean,
Look, that's why I
Heinrich,
think we should ask
you
around.
would remember at this point now.
Mhm.
You begin to kind of think back across the last few months. And in particular, you would remember back in the Frostmare, the last time that you had encountered some of Azra's forces, the figures that had emerged from these kind of corpulent pods of fungus
Oh fuck, we killed it with
had
a
all
sword.
been creatures that you had killed
Shit.
in the service of Azra.
Shit. Shit.
And for just a moment, you can remember the listener saying, even now, I can hear the drums.
Yeah. Well, I didn't kill him. And even if I did, I killed him while I wasn't.
kill
in prison.
who?
This is true. However, you do remember, I would say at this point, because it was fairly recent, you would remember specifically that he had said, I already feel it inside me. I can already hear the drums.
Yeah. She's turning things. She's building an army. God damn it.
Oh,
Okay.
this was the same one.
It's possible, probable.
Ah,
So it's back and worse, probably. Maybe. I don't know.
so are you telling me that every single thing that you killed is
Before.
now on the other side?
Before is all I know for sure, based on
Before
what we
what?
experienced. Before I let her go or tried to.
And to that point, Heinrich, you also realize, and I would say Shae as well, if Jaruxa is in fact entering the service of Azra, that same rule will apply.
Mm,
So she's got an army of mountain elves that can do things now? Is that what that sacrifice was all about?
And all she needs to do is kill everyone, and then she wins.
Could be.
Seems kind
That's
of
like-
unfair.
Evil incarnate of something.
But what if
Does
there
she have
was
to kill them, or do they just have to die? Because then, like, she's eventually gonna get everyone.
seemingly people or beings in her
Ah.
soul, is what I
Um,
guess.
Heinrich, whether you share this or not, you would know that there is an element of the portent that is designed to build this army. That is
Yeah.
the purpose of the Rotblade. Creatures slain by it are going to rise again within Calypso's. The whole goal of Azra is to escape, and she wants to build an army to finally breach the gate and have this final confrontation with the Burning Banner.
Right.
So
And it
there's a
seems like she's
siege.
doing pretty okay if she's taken a few of them down.
Mm,
So there's got to be like a source of her power or something, right? Like, unless she is the source of her own power, in which case we would just need the entire world and other planes to come together against her. It's like, you know, you ever rolled a snowball down a hill? Like, it just gets bigger.
No, I've thrown one at a wyvern though.
Yeah,
I've fallen
yeah,
down a
you
couple
do.
of hills.
Yeah, and you turned. Well, it's a little different, but I have no idea.
Leads me to repeat my question of what do you wish to do now?
I have no idea. Find out more information if there is a weakness or something to her, a way to sever these things in her service. That would be the easiest thing, is if they're tethered somehow, cut the tether.
And where do we
But
find
if
this
they're not,
information?
then only place I know that hoards lots of info we've already been, and it's also north.
Where?
So I can call Boron, and but
No!
that's so dangerous.
I hate that guy.
Well, I'm not. Good thing you're not the one talking to him, or half.
Guntir, you remember being in detention in the library.
Yeah. So that's my only.
All
I mean,
right.
that's it. Either that or anyone who's
I'm
studied
gonna-
things related. Like, I've never come across other people who've studied Azra in my time.
I'm gonna pull out.
The portent's designed
Oh,
to
I don't
protect
have
itself.
an
You know, it doesn't.
Secrecy,
It
yeah.
when the
I
message,
was-
because not everybody's a warlock. That's like a
Right.
pretty specific role. The
Yeah.
other members generally don't remember the message that they give.
That, and also, I was the only one that I knew working with it. I never met any other people.
This is true.
So,
Can't you ask your little
I mean, I could
Ask your book.
ask your
Yeah.
Write it in your diary and let
Oh,
me know.
fucking
Yeah.
hell. But the wording, I'm not good at this. I'm still practicing on it.
Does it
Think
work
that would
if
be a
anyone
waste.
does it? Give it here.
Yeah, I want to try.
I have a way with words.
Absolutely not. You do not touch this book.
I do, but you'll have to tell me how to spell everything.
You
And
no,
also how to write them.
touch.
Yeah.
Don't touch this book. Like, absolutely.
You know that if you tell her not to touch something, then she's more likely to touch it by like 10 times.
Right, and
I don't
as
like
we
Just
have,
pop that upon yourself.
and as
Tell
we
me
have
what to
learned
do.
too, the experience is the teacher. So yeah, if you want to, but you're not going to like the results.
If I touch it?
It's not something that I want anyone else
All
to
right,
come in
well,
contact with.
As
Anyways.
Why don't you? All right.
fascinating
I'll
as
think
this
of what to-
conversation is,
I'll think
We'll
of something to
dictate.
write.
You write it down.
what next?
I'll think of something to write, but if we feel like getting a potentially quick trip back, I would recommend go Shae, find and speak with him and see if that is a possibility. Euthelius.
Are
But then
you
why are you?
settled
what did
in
we
town
come here
here?
for?
I'm not no, I'll come with. There's nothing for me here. I thought it was going to be a way to find access, but it seems like all of the information we have or we need is elsewhere.
So you're telling me
Very
that
well.
we just wasted
don't
our
know.
free teleportation trip to come to some bodink place in the middle of nowhere with an army to just say, "Oh hey, we'll see you later. We're going right back to where we just came from."
It
Do
wasn't
you
for nothing.
have
We saw
an
Ro.
alternative suggestion, Gunter?
Yeah,
Now is the time to
Dungannon.
speak it.
You promised
I
me
think
Dungannon.
We need to come up with a plan of action.
We have a
Which-
plan. What is
What are we
yours?
gonna do? What are we gonna do? We're gonna go up there and then what?
My plan is to continue reforging the staff with your assistance.
So we're gonna
if you're
continue
amenable.
reforging the staff, and then what? And then once we continue to reforge the staff, we get the staff, and then what? We're
Find
gonna
a
go
way
to Calypso's? How?
Yes.
So what are we gonna? How are we gonna get to Calypso's?
Well,
if
that's
we're
Gunter
stuck
and
in the
Shae,
middle?
with
Fine.
your passive perception of 20, in the distance, roughly in the place that Euthelius had gone to, you hear
And I think he's gone.
Okay, perfect. I'm writing
Oh.
in my book now.
okay.
Where is Nazara of Uriel's watch in relation to Thousand Gates right now?
Okay. You transcribe where is in relation to 1,000 gates?
Like, how far from 1,000 Gates is she? Comma,
Why should I
name a
ask
place,
where
please.
she is, specifically?
Grammar is
Um,
a fickle mistress. I
it
can
is.
bend it however I want. I
So
have been
it's
writing
you're
this whole
basically
time.
asking. You're basically asking, where is Nazara? Please give us a name of the place.
Yeah, exactly. A heading,
Okay.
a direction, somewhere that we can go to meet with her.
Sure. You transcribe this. You see the familiar celestial glyphs, which now they flow from your hand much more easily than they once did. But you watch them disappear into the page, and as they reemerge, it just says Dungannon.
And it looks like we have to go through the marsh to Dungannon after all.
I win.
Shae, I know you may not like this idea, but Nazara, you were also wondering if you could meet up with her and find her. She's in Dungannon now.
Who's Nazara?
I am
Yeah,
here
we're-
to assist this group in whatever venture we are doing. That is
Alright.
my current
But
task.
mostly the staff, right?
Staff, ultimately, we should probably prioritize
The staff is and has been and will remain my goal. But
Okay, but
for the time being, I am here to assist.
I mean, you do also remember that the staff is one of three three-part items that were created
yeah, we got
early
the other
on,
things.
in order to aid the first heroes in vanquishing the dragons and ushering in the Age of Civility. So there are I mean, I believe that you were told you could potentially use a component of one of the other two to reforge the Staff of Twisted Fates, should you have access to the skill to do so and a magical forge.
Right. And it's River and Ruin and the Trident Soulcaster.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I can probably do it.
But both of those are
Just
far
gotta
away.
find the
One
stuff. We gotta
one
go
is
to
Darby, which we don't know. I don't know.
Darby.
And then Everest, which is another continent?
Yes.
Darby's-
At this
yeah.
point, you guys would know Everest is the continent to the west.
Okay.
It's the place where the Emerald Spire is. It's sort of the seat of power for most elves. It's the high elf seat of power.
Right. And then Darby is, we don't know, do know?
North is
I would say it's northeast, and I would say Heinrich from Port Quinn. Every now and then a ship would come in from Darby. It is a complicated political continent of many small kingdoms. It's very, very politically motivated. There are often coups. You don't know a ton about it. That's kind of what you'd know about Darby.
Okay. Neither are on this continent nor close.
Yeah.
So, just with the link to Uriel and therefore anti-Azra stuff, maybe Nazara would be able to help us. Plus, might be a good idea to check in on her and see how her neck's doing.
Who's Nazara?
From Kulturam. The one
The
that...
one
that-
that-
Remember when we, with the window and that
the
woman?
one that offended you, Guntir, as she had the piece embedded in her neck.
Oh, Muriel's watch.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Ah,
Well, she's in...
so we're doing that again?
She might have information, and you seem to
Well,
want to go to
everyone has
Dungannon.
information if you know how to get it.
Yeah, I have friends there.
There is one other thing, Heinrich. You I don't know if Miles remembers, but Heinrich did learn that the component that really mattered within those within the I can't remember what the name for them is, but within River and Ruin and the Soulcaster was that they were, yes, the Triwards. They were all crafted and they have components of diotic metal.
Diotic metal. Oh, did we? Well, okay. I'm going to write that down just because that's important. Diotic. Did we have anything like that? No, we just had the lodestone. That was the only special metal. Not even metal.
In Gunter's bag of holding, there was a large, there's a 25 pounds, 30 pounds
metal,
of diotic metal ore, which is currently,
which I had taken from,
Currently
orphanage.
scattered somewhere in Calypso's.
Perhaps.
Or being put to nefarious use. if
Also,
it's
perhaps.
useful.
probably. Yeah, so this goes back to needing to get back my stuff.
Great. Anyways, Dungannon, I think, is the heading that seems closest to us. It does put us farther from the north, but there was a teleportation circle there, correct?
Well, from here it is making progress back north, so...
Can't you just message her? Why do we have to travel all the
What?
way? If we have to get to the north, we should just do. We shouldn't just fiddle around here and see if we can talk to your friend and then, oh, maybe we find out something else and then we have to go to another place.
So then what is your game plan, Guntir? Please spell it out for us.
It sounds like you would just
I'm
like to sit
saying
down and be
we should-
done.
I'm saying we should plan things out and we should sit and we should talk about it and then we should do. And right now we're just sitting and talking about it and then we're going to go and do something and we're going to talk to her and then she's gonna
I'm
make us
thoroughly
go somewhere
confused.
else.
I'm thoroughly
So
confused at
what
what
do
your
I'm
point
saying-
is.
you want to do?
I'm saying if we're going to make the staff, we go and make the staff. We don't go and visit Muriel's Watch's friends and go and find out something from her that's going to make us say, oh, well, now should we do this instead? We got to go and help her. We just got to do. Because if we can finish making the staff, then we can move on to the next terrible thing that we have to deal with.
Gunter's life outlook.
It's like you're sitting at a buffet and you're taking a little bit of each thing and you're overflowing your plate. You gotta eat some of it at some point.
So then, Gunter, your suggestion is to finish the staff first. That is correct?
I'm saying, well, if we don't have anything left to do here, which it seems like we don't, broadly gesturing around at the nothingness that stands around us.
Unless you wish to go fight Crotego.
We've already done that.
Oh, I think that's kind of fun.
It was kind of fun.
They're some of my favorite things to kill. You know what?
Out of all the
You guys,
fingers
let's
we
go.
collected, we collected the most Crotego fingers.
Let's
I
go
have
blow
a
off some
couple.
steam and kill some Crotego.
Blow off some steam and just get into a fight on purpose.
Let's just murder some stuff. Why not?
But we've been so careful not to be murder hobos.
I know for a little bit you guys have you've slowly
I would
managed to
argue,
yank your
comparatively-
reputation out of the mud and just to the point where it's only filthy and no longer truly like to the point where you're right up there. Like if there was
Wanted criminals.
I mean, yeah, you were.
All right.
So I'm just saying, if we're gonna go and build the staff, let's go get that over with. Finish it. Instead of going to the random other places to meet Ushiel and Muriel's Watch and all these people.
Where's your sense of adventure? Don't
My
you
sense
like
of
to
adventure
travel?
is still well and good. Thank you
I'm
very
gonna
much.
look at Heinrich.
That's why I'm
Whatever
annoyed that we
you
made
wish
this
to do.
pointless trip down here.
Message back and just say like, unfortunately, he has a good point. If we need to finish the staff, or if we can get back there and the pieces are still there, then it will have been for a good reason. If they're not still there and we can't forge the staff, then it's serious backpedaling.
And I see you guys looking at each other, and I'm just going to interject and be like, you guys, he does have a good point. If we go there and they do have things for the staff, then it's a good reason to go. But if they don't, then
I'm like, yeah, right. Morwen's got a really good point, because if we do go back look, if that seemed I like the idea of actually checking off a box and not adding more. Don't get me wrong.
Are you still speaking in your mind?
No, I'm talking out loud.
Oh, damn. Okay.
No more of
I
that
was gonna
gag.
bring up
Listen,
my fist
guys.
and be like,
But I think that's actually we have to stop at the Lord. We have to stop at the Lord Binder Academy on the way.
No! Just call him.
Oh, so now you're okay with it because you don't want to go there.
I don't know that. Difference between never seeing him ever again.
All right, can I get that necklace to fill this bowl, Gunter?
What?
Can I get the necklace back just to fill the bowl?
What necklace?
The one that you stole from me and are still wearing around your neck.
Oh, this.
to clean your puke.
Alright. Alright. How do I do it? I gotta say a
No, you-
word or something? Let me
I
just...
don't-
I'll say it.
apparently-
And I say the one that blasts water.
I
no, I'm just
don't
kidding. I
know
don't,
if that
I
would
don't,
work
I don't.
anyways, because you're not the one holding it, or is it just anytime anyone says that word, it just goes off? You're walking down a street and someone's like, "Oh man, like
I could
you should
go
have
for
seen that
some-
geyser the other day. It was beautiful," and then just
You need to be the person that is currently utilizing the item. You can't just like say it. I love that. And there are items that actually
there should be some pretty
do-
cool cursed magic items where everyone is attuned to it.
I will say somewhere in Alberon there is a belt that just says really racist stuff to orcs when you walk
Fucking
by.
hell, why? Why?
It's nowhere near
not?
you. But it's
Why
an
not?
item that
Fucking
just
hell.
exists.
All right. Does it grant any benefit at
Um,
least? Is it just
yeah.
a shitty belt? Okay.
No, it grants benefits.
Fucking
I'm gonna
hell.
hold it out, and I'm gonna say the word that is the one that's like low setting,
I didn't
Okay.
teach them to you though.
and I'm gonna.
When you attune to an item, and you've had it for
shit.
long enough, yeah, you
Shit.
you
We
generally
learn
get
it.
the gist of it. So.
I've heard you say it before.
Also
Okay.
true.
Fine.
Well,
And
listen.
Gunter knows which ones not to use, as he's incorrectly
Yeah.
used it multiple times.
And I'm gonna be like, no, you can fill it up here, because I'm not giving it back to you, lest I be jettisoned across the room once again.
Gunter fills the bowl, the water just streaming into it, and you have a bowl full of water, the runes kind of rippling underneath.
Cool,
All
cool.
right. While you
And,
call him, let's go do something that's not calling him. And I'm gonna
go
start
back to
walking
the.
away.
Can I camera pull back for a second? Just assume that maybe we have been walking back towards the inn at this point, so I can make this call in private, or do I have
Sure.
to walk through the town with this bowl of water and
I
then
thought we
carefully
had
climb
been
the
walking
stairs?
Since you stopped.
I wasn't certain, honestly. We didn't
Because
say
you
if we were
walked
still
away
or
and you
walking.
started walking.
It's about half an hour away.
I walked
So
away
what
to go
we'll
start
say
walking.
is,
Is that
if
like
you
when
would
I
like-
left to go leave?
if you would like, you guys could have been talking and walking.
Okay.
You reach the inn, and then and Heinrich, when you go inside, Gunter
Y'all can
fills
do
it up,
whatever
and
you
you
want.
take the bowl up to your room.
Yeah.
Gunter turns and leaves.
I'm gonna go
Morwen-
find something to do. I'll be back in an hour.
Morwen,
Me
what are you
too.
doing? Morwen's going with, and Shae?
I would look at Heinrich and do you wish to make this call on your own?
I mean, you're certainly welcome to join. It was more of a, I mean, the point of interruptions and all of that, and the fact that he doesn't like this guy anyways. Didn't
Oh.
want anything
Stay with
offensive to
Heinrich.
be said.
Yeah, give him a big thumbs down for me
Gunter's not there.
You got
so,
it.
an adult
as I'm
separate.
walking out the door.
All right, so we're going to start with Heinrich and Shae. So Gunter and Morwen, you guys begin to walk in a direction. We'll get back to you. Heinrich and Shae. You
All
guys
right.
go up to the room.
What's
you
the
open it.
command
There's
word for
three
this thing,
beds.
by the way?
Honestly, I don't remember. That was a long time
It
ago.
was a-
I don't think we established.
It wasn't a command word. It's so there's a rune on the side that once it's filled with water, you can hold, and
That's what
you
it
speak.
is.
And all you have to do is say the word of the person you're trying to reach,
Yeah.
and it is Boron. So
Cool. All right, so we're in the long room with 3 empty beds. I'll sit on
Mhm.
one of the beds and pull
Okay.
up a table or a stool or whatever and just rest the bowl on it, so my arms don't get tired because of my 10 strength is probably good for about 20 minutes at most.
holding it out is tough. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's not, I always do that. That's not the one I ever want. Okay, so you hold it out, and as you depress the rune, you can see the light shimmers a little bit, and suddenly the water is like a glowing pale white, and it just kind of rises and falls slightly. You could think in Skyrim, the kind of, those weird little ninroots that do like the kind of
yeah.
pulsating light,
Yeah.
similar to that. At one point it blazed, yeah, exactly. And suddenly it just, and it clears, and you can see coming into focus the image of Boron wearing the familiar, all too tight blue robes. He's awake. You're calling him during the day
At a
for the second
regular
time
hour.
ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can see he smiles and nods to you. He's wearing these tiny glasses that the arms don't actually go back to his ears. They're just, through force of being too small, they're like
Like
held
pushed
to
out.
his head. Yeah. But
That must be
Clever
he looks
cool.
at you.
Oh no, he's a rock man.
Heinrich,
Boron.
thank you for calling during the afternoon and not early in the morning. I
Oh,
appreciate that.
Oh, good. Sorry, I thought I got an answering message for a sec there. Yeah,
Can I help you with
I've been
something?
making a point to do that. I apologize to the prior, 4 times of 3 in the morning or whatever it was. I need some information, and I also, prior to asking anything, want to get your assurance that this line of communication is safe enough to not be pried in on. Obviously, someone super powerful and scrying would be able to do so, but do I have your
Right.
confidence in that?
Relatively, it depends on who would have interest in this conversation. You would know better than me.
Right. Right. And as far as I know, she would be able to know anything already about me. So, barring that, look, I have a question that may be a breach of confidence if this person spoke to you, and if not, maybe you can point me in the direction. There was a woman, a potion maker from Thousand Gates, who acquired some information from your organization, establishment, order, what you would call it.
The Academy.
Academy. Yeah, sure. Your academy. Does the name
Ysir.
Thank you. Does the name Ysir sound familiar?
You see his lip kind of curls away from the teeth, the dark, almost gray skin of the Goliath, giving way to these pink gums and white teeth. Yes.
I am familiar with this way of communicating. Okay. Did you instruct her or give her information in regards to concocting a potion, possibly using fungus?
I had very little dealing with that woman. The only reason I know of her name was the mess that she left within the library.
What?
But yes, she was researching, I am told, on various mushrooms and their use in alchemy.
I have it on good information that she was aided in some way. Do you know who may have spoken to her?
I could check, but one of the younger scribes that works at the front desk in the lesser stacks would have been the person to help them.
Ah, so not someone who instructed them, more just pointed them in the direction of information.
Yes, but if it was dangerous information, it wouldn't be held within the lower stacks. It would be in the restricted sections.
Who would have access or be able to give her access? Or is this mess she caused sort of related to her not being allowed access and then taking stuff anyways?
The mess within the library.
Yeah.
She left behind work of hers, this entire mess of pulp and organic matter that stained the tables. And
Purple?
yes, how did you know?
Burn it. Burn it now. Burn all of it now, if you can, with anything holy. That's... Do you know... Oh, goodness. There were
Heinrich,
some
what
books...
is going on?
Do you know the name... fuck. Do you know the name Azra?
Tangentially, I know that in some of the research you had me do, the name came up.
Yeah, goddess lady of rot trying to breach out of Calypsos and return to this plane and take it for her own. That's relatively harmless knowledge. You might want to look into that more, but anything related to rot and fungus and things like that, you don't want that sticking around. I would have someone check on that mess now, and if it's still there, burn it. Seriously.
Betal, can you please? And then you can see like a little bit of movement off on the side. You hear footsteps trailing away. Very well. There's nothing left. We did clean it, but it's not something that we can burn. We'll do something.
Okay, yeah. We just had a related thing. This woman came back to Thousand Gates and summoned some creatures from this terrible place using what sounds like very similar materials, let's call it, that she learned of
Interesting.
there. And we just had the Church of Six here burning it with holy fire, which seems to be
Destroyed
an
a nice
effective way.
portion of the city.
Yeah, that's true. Shae's over here too. Come say hi, Shae. I think you may remember. We were the two ones that, liked the quiet nature of the library.
I remember the third quite well. But Heinrich, what is it that the Church of Six has involvement in? I like you. You are a seeker of knowledge, and at some point I did hope to talk you into perhaps spending more time at the Academy. But we've taken a great deal of pain to not be involved with the kingdom. We built this this academy in this very place to be away from the political influence.
Right. I'm not saying necessarily get them to come there and help you out, but that's what they were doing.
not a political matter. This is a larger, perhaps even world-ending matter.
Right. The more we delve in, the wider and deeper and vaster it becomes rapidly.
Shae, make a persuasion check.
Can that have helped her, the thing that I just said?
Make it at advantage.
Yay!
Doesn't matter because it's the same either way. That's a
Okay.
15.
15. Even if what you said was true, what is it that we could do to help?
Maybe if we were to see any of the materials that she had pulled out and looked at, might give us some clues.
Any information on Azra?
Right. Any of that as well. Not just historical documents, maybe, but sources.
You see,
of
just on the
power
very
and
bottom of the
things
image,
like
the
that.
end of a quill kind of moving back and forth as he writes this down.
Yeah.
All right. These are things that I can look into, but
Right.
Ways
what
to
do you intend to
Calypsos?
do about this?
Yeah. Ways do Calypsos too, but that I don't want to use the one that Ysir used. That's for sure.
Well,
A list of the weapons that we could make to take to make the
Gunter's not
staff.
there.
Not there. Yeah.
That is metagaming. If you do wish to reach Calypsos, is this a city?
It's a demi-plane where she was trapped by the burning
plane?
banner. Yes.
I do perhaps have a way to help. If you can make it to the Lorebinder Academy, I can perhaps get you to a different plane, although Calypsos is not one that I've heard of.
Right. That would make sense since they wanted to sequester her trapped in somewhere unknown is, my guess.
If she is as dangerous as you say, that would make sense.
Right.
We, the civilized races, have a way of meddling in the affairs that are far beyond our reach. And
Yep.
I think oftentimes those greater beings that you spoke of do such things.
Guilty.
Kind
Don't
of
worry about it.
Turns his head. I will look into Calypsos and ways of getting there, and Azra. But in the meantime, where are you going?
We may actually be heading up north again.
Generally in your direction, though it may take us some time to get there.
Well, I'll reach out if I find anything.
Please do. I'll set it to extra hot so I can feel it through my bag or something.
Just turn up the volume of the sound.
What is this?
Have you changed your ringtone?
Can I make the depth of the bowl more? Change the volume? Turn up the volume? I don't follow.
Heinrich, if the Church of Six is involved, be careful.
Yeah, I've been trying to. Yeah, it's the. Do you know offhand? Do you know anything about Euthilius? Is he trustworthy?
You see this gray skin just go pale. You said the Harbinger Euthilius?
Yeah, we kind of had an intimate discussion. I think I was able to not tell him everything just for the sake of not fully trusting yet.
You were wise to do this. He is a true believer, but often the line between belief and fanaticism is quite thin.
Yeah.
And he is an individual, if what I've heard is true, who crossed that line long ago.
Cool.
That is a dangerous man.
Boron, may I ask you, have you heard the name Juruxa?
Yes. Relating to the Ald in some way. A place? Or a person? Why?
He is also involved. If you have records, it would be helpful.
I will do what I can. Our knowledge of the Ald is limited. Ever since the sinking, it has been hard to get anything from there. if you do come across anything from that region, it is quite valuable to us.
Of course, I ask because my source of information has disappeared.
Who is your source of information?
My mother.
You can see falters a little bit, and I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes.
I'll do what I can to find information about this Tabaxi. But again, and he returns to you, Heinrich. That is a man, one of very few who survived whatever it is that burned Gath.
Do I know what that is?
When you first talked to Euthilius, he had told you that he had walked across the Burning Tongue, which is a land bridge from Gath, or was a land bridge from Gath to Everest.
Oh. And Gath is another continent, I'm guessing?
Yes,
Okay.
it was. It's it's like a hellscape. It's like a smoldering island of volcanic activity now.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
Whatever happened there,
Yeah.
whatever it was that ended the Fazarakian Scold almost 2,000 years ago, just be careful.
You think he's 2,000 years old?
Elves can live a long time.
2,000's a lot. Goodness.
2,000 would mean that they would have not come through the Spire phase. They would have probably come straight from the Feywild.
Tabaxi is nearly 1,000, Heinrich. It's not impossible.
I guess I'm too polite. I never ask people their age. Okay, well...
I am 37.
I am 24. 26. 26.
I'm
26.
287 years
Really?
old.
Unrelated,
I'm 5.
unrelated. I would believe that you could probably hear Guntir shouting that out throughout the entire town.
He's just saying it unrelated to this. Yeah, just to other people.
Because it happens all
Well,
the
he
time.
says it a lot, yeah.
All right.
I mean,
It is.
But back to conclude it, I think we are heading in your direction. So I'll keep I'll pay attention to if you call, and hopefully we'll see you in not too long a time.
I look forward to it. I'll reach out if I find anything.
Good. Yes. And if we do as well, if anything to help further that research or anything randomly from that place you were talking about. Shae, you'll
Very
probably
well.
find it before I do anyways.
The Ald, yes.
May the truth of knowledge guide you to safety. And you see the hand kind of wave and the water shimmers down and it's just water.
Cool. I'll throw it out the window. And I listen. Okay, good. Didn't hit anyone. All right.
No, just you hear impact to the ground.
Don't worry, not a chamber pot.
Clean water!
Yeah. Wait a minute. There was a bathroom here. Never
Yep.
mind. Cool. All right. Well,
you gonna go use it?
no.
Oh.
So it seems like the North's pulling us back again.
Yes.
Might be wise to go do that. I wonder what Morwen and Guntir are
I was
up to.
about to say. Morwen and Guntir.
I'm 287 years old.
Oh, I'm sorry for asking.
I don't need to worry about these sorts of. He doesn't listen. I've got all this wealth of wisdom and knowledge, and he thinks he knows everything.
There's this like young kind of guy who's like holding out these bead necklaces he was trying to sell you, slowly retracting them. Okay, I said I'm sorry, and he just kind of walks away. But you guys, where are you going? You're presumably.
I would be looking for something in this soldier village, essentially, right?
Yeah, it's a
Large
military site.
encampment. Yeah, large military encampment. I would be looking for something either scammable or fun in a gambling or, what the soldiers do in their off time sort of way.
Hey, Guntir. Nudge, nudge.
Gotta to
Remember
blow off
how-
some steam.
Remember how someone was saying that like they just kind of get a lot of money and don't really know what to spend it on?
I do.
Okay, I was unsure for a second. Why don't we do one of our little street shows? Maybe I can do a little dancing and stuff, and you can go around
Pickpocketing.
yeah. And then
Point blank.
they'll throw me some cash and like we double.
Huh. Attempting to steal from a large group of armed military men.
I mean, what could go wrong?
You have a good point.
And then if something does, Heinrich and Shae will just bail us out as usual. Or I'll
And then
run
we
away
could-
and find you.
But one stipulation. We get it all, and then we spend some of it, and you go and buy us 2 of those cool, endless supply of alcohol bottles.
Oh hell
From,
yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll use it to spend on the booze.
Let's do that. That's
Yeah.
it. We can do that in like an hour, right?
And maybe if we buy them
just
all,
don't
we can
wanna-
get a deal. But I'll do the talking, not you.
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah. That
You
guy
guys are
was
kind of
a dick.
within the rough, like the street that you had seen that was the market street. You actually are not that far away from Olmsworthy's. However, this is kind of a cobblestone street. There is like a raised portion that's almost like 20 feet across. There are like field stones that create a circular wall, and there is a patch of dirt and like a tree whose leaves are not currently grown. It is the middle of winter. But I mean, it's busy. There are people coming to and from. There are carts moving and kind of clopping over these cobblestones. There are horses drawing these carts. So, Gunter, you could actually intuit that there are animals that you could ride here, since you're always interested in that for some reason. But yeah, what do you want to do to make money?
You have 25 base walking speed. You need things
That's
to
a,
get around.
that's a good point.
That's the first thing you look for, being like mounts.
Yeah, every time.
Where's my little scooter?
Where's my Razor scooter?
We'll get you a razor at some point by campaign's end.
It's an 05. Anyway.
Mint condition. Has the grind bar.
Anyways,
Yeah,
how
okay.
would you guys like to scam?
I mean, do you
So-
want to do that, or I don't know. It's up
I
to
mean,
you,
we either
but,
do
I
that
like
or we just-
attention.
I'm gonna. How crowded does this area seem? Like,
Pretty crowded. Every now and then, somebody will kind of lightly graze by you. It's like people have to move out of the way of carts, and you guys kind of pack together for a second. It's pretty crowded.
all right.
Are there children?
Yeah, here and there, not very many. And they're not playing. You don't see like kids like running around. Gunter, the group that you had seen previously was kind of the only exception, like 12, 13-year-olds. But every now and then you'll see a kid with like a parent, or maybe like 1 or 2 kids with what looks like a guard, perhaps.
A kid with a guard. Ooh,
Yeah.
important child. I'm
Perhaps.
just kidding.
Or
or maybe.
captured for stealing.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right,
Uh,
I'm just
I don't
gonna
know.
approach a child
What
and start
what-
juggling. Be like,
how strict would the laws be here for public entertainment and
You haven't
need a
seen
license.
anybody else doing it, for what it's worth. But you don't know. I mean, you could ask somebody. You
Ah.
could go about finding these things out.
all right, so here's my thought. As much as I like conning people, I don't very much like conning people who have weapons and can hurt me. So I'm wondering
Really?
if we
'Cause
lean.
That's usually the only people you con.
Well,
So I'm a
if
little
they have it
surprised
coming,
to hear
if they have
this.
it coming, then I make an exception, okay? But
Well,
in general,
okay. I don't know where the line's drawn here, so
well, the line is more like a
a
curvy
squiggle.
squiggle. Yeah, it fluctuates. It's like a wave.
Hmm.
Comes and goes like the tides. But that's
a
getting
very,
we're getting
very
off topic.
structured line.
I'm thinking we go more in way of subterfuge.
Oh.
Lean into our stealthy qualities.
Morwen, with your passive perception of 17, you see as Heinrich is like as Guntir is talking to you, behind him, the top of like this kind of blue scaly head. People, this kind of crowded space, there's movement and kind of as if a cart was approaching you guys, people moving to the left and the right. But as Guntir continues to talk, you see eyes and then an elongated snout of a blue dragonborn. You see these teeth kind of sticking out, wearing this full set of dark metal plate mail. He seems to have his eyes directly on the back of Guntir's head.
Hey, Guntir, do you know that guy?
Oh.
And as you turn around, you can see maybe 20 feet away the imposing 7.5 foot tall dragonborn, long tail behind, kind of moving back and forth with his motion. You could see people giving him a wide berth. But you could see he's looking at you.
I turn back around as quickly as I like. Oh.
And point of reference, what did they know you as? What was your name back then?
When I was at the what was it? Hold on, I gotta look it up.
Don't you
My
remember
They just had a
your own
lot of
names?
identities.
My list of identities.
Yeah, you have like a portfolio now.
Yeah.
One of them is
What
just
was
middle
it?
names.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because I recently updated.
He's got like a
my
coder ring.
list. I've got to go. It was Jasper.
Why is that already funny?
Considering his other names have been the good righteous Duke Ellington, and there's been a variety of Tall Graham. So Jasper what? Oh,
Spit it out.
Jasper Honeydew.
Okay.
okay.
Honey, no, you didn't.
He approaches, and Guntir, now that you've seen him, you can feel the weight of his armor and form like depressing the ground and shaking it slightly as he approaches. Hang on one second here.
I'm gonna be like, let's go. And I'm just gonna start shuffling
juggling
more.
this
Brother
whole time
Guntir.
still, by
Or
the
sorry,
way.
we
Brother
just went
Jasper.
over this. We just went over this. Brother Honeydew.
Keep moving.
Turn and face me.
And I'm just like,
Just keep walking.
honeydew.
You're muted. You're muted, Joe.
You feel this large hand go over your shoulder, and your entire form like depresses with the size of it, and he spins you around. You stare into the chest plate that shows the closed fist of cord and the thunder or the lightning streaks behind it. You look up and you can see these stern eyes looking down.
Are you talking to me?
Brother
who are you?
Honeydew, it has been some time since we've seen you. Where did you get off to?
I'm gonna interrupt this and just be like, "Hi, I'm Morwen."
Not now.
I've been spreading the good word.
Interesting. We haven't heard anything of your good word.
Oh,
To whom
That's
have you been
because-
spreading it to?
People around. I spread it to Morwen here. She's my she's
Tabaxi, you are a follower of Cord.
Yeah, I converted her. I've done it. She's my faithful disciple.
The eyes turn to you. You can see reptilian blue, almost as the same blue as Guntir's, but these like really tall pupils that are narrow, slightly bloodshot, and the little bit of white that you can see.
Yep.
Make a deception check. And because Guntir's helping you, make it at disadvantage.
A disadvantage. Oh
Don't forget about
no.
your panache.
He's assuming you're lying, Guntir.
Yeah. I'm assuming he's a jerk.
Well, it is a 10.
Brother Honeydew,
Yeah.
normally we would bring you back and try you for what you've done, but we are in different times.
Yeah, the times they are a changing. That's so it goes. Anyway, it's been great.
We have use for you, Brother
Yeah,
Honeydew.
doesn't everyone?
Come. We have
Wait,
stayed
where?
at the- We are going to the Rusty Horseshoe. It is what we have rented out for our entire group.
The Rusty Horseshoe. Ah, no, I'm kind of doing a thing.
Brother Honeydew, you seem to believe that this is an optional task.
Well, I mean, everything, technically is optional. It's just that sometimes the options are heavily weighed in one direction.
Indeed. He turns for a second, and you can see
Alright.
there's during this time, people have all begun. This is like a circle of people now around you in this clearing, about 10 feet in diameter around. They're tightly packed together. You would have to push through, but he turns around and he kind of raises up a hand. Cord says, "Whoever is mightiest rules."
That is true.
Right.
That is, he did say that.
Is what makes a leader. You believe that you should be leading, Brother Honeydew?
Well, in this particular instance, within the group of disciples who are at my behest, I would say that yes, I am leading, but there are multiple ways to lead. As Cord certainly has underlings who then order their underlings. And such
Members
is
of the
way-
garrison gathered around, and you can see everybody now. There's this murmur that just goes through. Do you believe this dwarf to be a leader? And there's a chorus of just boos.
Oh,
You can
hey,
hear
whoa,
a couple
whoa,
people
whoa.
jeer. You can see,
But
you
I'm
hear a
gonna start
little kid
clapping
just
like,
kind of yell.
yeah, no.
Hey,
Oh.
for the record, I did some really big stuff that Cord would be very pleased with, and so I think you need to lighten up.
You can see he works, and this brooch that's holding on the cloak is unfastened. Well, unfastens and it falls to the ground, and it's for cloth heavy.
I see where this is going.
You can see now there's like more of a murmur. People are beginning to kind of talk excitedly. You can actually see gold exchange hands amongst a couple of them. But in this moment, he looks at you. He cracks the knuckles on one hand. This like little bit of lightning kind of sparkles off. He cracks the other knuckles, and again, just kind of off. Who here wishes to see who is mightier? And there is a much louder cheer.
I don't.
here.
Oh, it doesn't. It's not
You
a
hear-
competition or anything.
You
I
hear
think-
3 gold on the dwarf, and then
Yeah.
you can just hear 5 silver on the dragonborn. And he looks at you and he
All right.
says,
Morwen, you
Brother
want a way to
Honeydew,
make money, right?
you wish to be mightier than me?
Well, it's not a wish so much as just stating a fact.
Indeed. And you can hear now, Guntir, and you can see it was slightly cloudy before the clouds are beginning to gather over you. All of a sudden on this day, it is still, in the 50s, there is no snow. It begins to rain a little bit. You can see people all around now kind of like beginning to kind of duck. A few go away, but this crowd is like packed in. There is some excitement to this event that is now happening. Guntir. He takes one step towards you, his hand kind of opening. He takes another step towards you, the other hand opening, in between them. This lightning just kind of crackles. Go ahead, Guntir, and make the first move.
Jasper.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's so tough. It's so tough because
Yeah,
there's
it
so
is.
many names.
And the same voice for all of them.
Brother Honeydew, go ahead and make the first move.
Good luck,
All right.
buddy. and I'm
Morwen, you.
Back.
Yeah.
Morwen's not there. You see,
It's
with
okay,
just
Morwen, you got my back.
Morwen's just passive stealth ability, she just disappears into the crowd.
I do want to take this opportunity to kind of
Pickpocket.
scoot off and just leave. No, I'm just
Okay.
kidding. No, I want to take out the sending stone and message Heinrich and be like, big oops in the town square.
And actually, even from where you are, up in the quiet area in that inn, you're starting to hear people like kind of cheer, and you're hearing a bit of a commotion
I was
happening.
about to say, with my passive, can I hear what's going on?
You certainly
Out of
hear.
the two of us,
You
Shae would
hear
know
off in the
what's going
distance
on.
the crystal ring of, but he's so old. In the midst of this commotion, Guntir, you can see he's looking at you, and since you have not done anything, he says, "Fine,
I was looking
I'll do
back
it then."
to see where did Shae go?
And as you turn back, you already see him moving towards you, and I need you to roll initiative.
Oh, boy.
Guntir.
Oh boy.
So,
Oh, that's
Good thing you got your
above
armor
10 is always good for Guntir.
up.
yeah, sure, why not?
I got a 15.
Okay. What's your dexterity?
Flat dex, I believe, is an 11.
An 11. Okay, you're going first.
Nice.
Although, because you were turned around, he's gonna get a surprise round on you.
Come
no,
on,
that's
where'd you
just
go?
not-
Back me up. We can make some money off this.
So, as he moves forwards, it's just a simple punch. That's a natural 20. This is gonna suck. All right. So he swings forwards, and the gauntleted hand collides with your face. You feel one of your few remaining teeth instantly dislodge and whiz into the crowd. You see like an old hand reach up and try to snag the tooth as it goes over. A few other hands go to grab it. And he is going to burn one of his divine smites.
Oh
So hang on
man.
here.
Okay, so it's like this.
Yes, so you would know that within the Priesthood of Thunder, this is not to the death, but it's a real fight. Cord doesn't really, take gloves off for this kind of thing.
Hang on a sec. Cloud Rune.
Okay, so explain to people what that does.
When you are a creature you can see within 30 feet of you is hit by an attack roll, you can use your reaction to choose a different creature within 30 feet of you to become the target of the attack instead, using the same roll.
Oh
Looking
no!
around, who are you redirecting this attack to?
One of the crowd people.
Random
Gunter,
crowd
go ahead and roll a D100 for me.
Because there's at least 100 people in the crowd.
No, there's
It's good that Morwen left. She would be the first
probably
one
like
he sees.
40 or
is-
so people.
A 78.
78. Okay. So this
Oh,
fist,
poor number
it
78.
collides with you, and you still have the tooth that goes out, but as the lightning from the fist goes up the arm and then seems to almost curl and then fly down, it doesn't hit you. It streaks off and behind you. And you can see this guy, maybe like 40 years old. He's holding these 3 gold pieces he had bet on you. He's going to take
I believed in you.
13, 14,
No.
23, 24,
Oh, he's
25,
He just got exploded in there.
35, 38. 38 points of lightning damage. All of a sudden, you watch this guy, he's holding this gold. He's like, 3 gold on the dwarf. And as he's saying that, the lightning crushes into his chest, and you watch the clothing shreds, the skin itself boils, and he falls to the ground dead.
Oof.
He's like dead. That's not death saving throws. All of a sudden now, the feeling in the air changes. You can see the face before where he was smiling suddenly turns into a scowl. Weakness.
What did you do?
As a bonus action. Was that a bonus action? No. So, as a bonus action, his other hand goes behind him, and in his hand materializes a holy weapon. It is a divine a divine longsword. He cannot attack with it, however. But that is his turn. Guntir, what do you want to do? You are like right in front of him. You are in a 10-foot circle. Everybody else, this crowd around you, is beginning to back up. On their turn, they're going to start. You see people turning to run. This guy smoldering on the ground. Your space is about to get a little bit bigger.
Yeah, my space is gonna get bigger. I'm gonna use my bonus action for a giant's might.
Okay, so
So if I am smaller than large, I become large, along with anything I'm wearing. If I lack the room to become large, my size doesn't change.
you have enough room to become large.
I have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws, and once on each turn, my attacks deal an extra d6.
And remind me which piece of armor that was on?
I believe it was one on each of the gauntlets.
Okay. So Guntir, as you like take 2 steps back, reeling from just the impact, you look, you see the smoldering body, and almost in panic, you slap this rune on the gauntlet. As it does, you feel thunder in your body. It's as if your bones rattle within the skin, and suddenly it's slightly painful, but your skin expands. For everybody else in Morwen, you see first the wrinkly skin of Guntir seem to almost like rubber seem to, it's almost like it's inflating outwards like rubber before the bones and muscle like catch up to it, and suddenly Guntir stands 10 feet tall.
I'm getting
see
tough
people-
Marshmallow from Ghostbusters vibe.
Yeah, yes, and your legs, as they move out, they push people away from you. Where you stand out, the plate mail on the bottom of your feet scrapes the stone to the side, and elements of the cobble actually accumulate in the sides of your legs. But you are now 10 feet tall. What would you like to do?
I do have something to say after this turn, if you don't mind.
Okay.
I'm like, how could you hurt that defenseless man? And then I'm just gonna straight attack him with my axe, smashing into his face, hopefully.
Okay.
And I guess I'll maybe use the thing that he did to me. That is a 17.
You, what are you attacking with?
With the the war axe that I had just recently
Okay, so you
repurchased.
pull out this brand new war axe and you swing. It hits him straight in the shoulder. Clang! Off. No damage.
Oh.
In that case, I'm going to
Does it look small because he's big?
use.
The axe grows as well, I believe.
Oh.
Is anything you're wearing?
Wearing and carrying.
Yeah. In that case, I think
Everything
I'm going
is larger.
to.
Birkenstocks.
Yeah, I guess that's. I'll hold on to this for now. Yeah.
Fair
Okay.
enough. Okay, so anything else?
Am I within his space where backing up would provoke an attack of opportunity?
Yes, certainly.
Okay, then I will not do anything else.
Fair enough. On his turn, he looks up at you. There's this moment where the snarl turns into a little bit of a smile. Brother Honeydew, an actual fight. And he takes the sword and he's going to swing it at you twice. So the first time, that is going to be a 17 to hit.
That's a miss.
Fantastic. That is going to be a 27 to hit.
That's a hit.
Fair enough. Hunter, this blade, it's radiant energy. It looks almost material in his hands, but as it impacts you, the entirety of the blade shifts through your person, and you feel lightning ripple through your body as it does so. You take 9 points of slashing damage, as well as 15 points of lightning damage.
So 24 total.
That is his action. For his bonus action, he's going to attack with this divine weapon again. That's a natural 1. So he hits you first, and as it does, you feel the lightning ripple through the interior of your body. You can feel parts of you almost cook on the inside. You smell yourself.
Ew.
And as it passes through, the blade just dissipates.
Oh, that's good.
Growls at this. Yes, Morwen.
I would like to take advantage of the mob being distracted. And
Make a
do
stealth
exactly what you
check.
think I'm going to.
Make a stealth check, and then make 3 sleight of hand checks, and you can just message them to me, and we'll get back to it.
Okay, and the whole time I'm gonna be like, "Oh my god, that's crazy! Whoop. Oh my god, did you see?" Whoop."
And I would say you can make it at advantage because these people are very distracted, and there are
I
people
don't
like
want
just
this to be
holding
for
money.
nothing.
Sure, Guntir, what are you doing?
I think
It's a 33.
I am going to use my bonus action to do my whichever the one gives me a +2 to AC that I always forget because I get it mixed up with warding bond. That move.
Crusader's Mantle.
No. Why do I? It's blanking on me right now.
What do you?
It's the +1 bonus. What? I don't remember what it's called.
So what are you gonna do? Because he's getting close to getting this free attack on here.
All right, I'm gonna use my bonus action to do that thing, but I'm gonna attack him again.
If you do not know what that thing is, then you're not able to do it. So
all right,
look for what that is, but make your attack in the meantime.
I'm looking for the name of it. What's it called? And that's a 15 plus. That's a 22 to hit.
22 just hits.
Okay. And so I'm gonna hit him with some damage dice, and hopefully he'll go away and stop hurting me. We'll see. A d6 for my bigness. All right, that is 9 damage.
Okay, and that's just what kind of damage? Just regular damage?
I get to reroll one with my ability.
Yes, you do as a fighter.
So that's actually 13 damage.
All right. So as this weapon passes through you and just dissipates, you see he snarls, and for a moment his hands are empty. You take this opportunity to swing the axe up, and it cleaves into the armor. It mostly hits armor. You hear ching as it just goes off. But it seems to scrape on the side of his cheek. Yes.
I am also going to invoke my fire rune on this hit.
Okay.
To give him an extra 2d6 fire damage, and he needs to succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained for 1 minute.
So as you swing the head of the axe into flames, go ahead and make the extra damage that is done with that. What is the saving throw?
DC 17 strength save.
That is 16, so he is going to fail on that.
And he takes 8
shit.
fire damage.
Okay, well done. So all of a sudden, as the fire around the head of the axe, you hit him again. Ching! He has to actually take a step back, and all of a sudden the fire continues to swirl around the body. It forms this almost concentric circles that then seem to bind him in place. And he is, what is the condition?
He is restrained, I believe.
Restrained, yes. Okay.
Yes, he's restrained for 1 minute. While restrained by the shackles, he takes 2d fire damage at the start of each of his turns, and he can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of his turns.
Very nice. So, at the end of Gunter's turn, technically it is Morwen's turn. What was your first... go ahead.
And then I was going to use the bonus action.
Which was your fire rune, right?
No, that's just invoked on a hit.
Gotcha. Okay, that was invoked. Okay.
Yeah. And then... I can't find this spell in my list of spells.
Okay. So keep looking for that. Morwen, what was your first sleight of hand check?
34.
Okay. So as the axe goes up and the fire, you can see the crowd around you, their faces all illuminated. Some of them shy away. And in this moment, you take one of your claws and you just cut the purse string on this slightly older gentleman, a little bit better dressed. It's fairly heavy, and it just disappears into your coat.
Yay.
It was Beacon of Hope was what I was looking for. But
Okay.
there it is.
So, Beacon of Hope, you use that in your bonus action?
Yes, and then that is my turn.
So, thunder rolls in the background, and you see in this clouded space a swirl above you, and you feel a little bit more protected. More when you take this purse, it is his turn. He is restrained, correct?
He is
That
restrained, and he
speed
takes
becomes 0. Can't benefit from the bonus of speed. Attacks at advantage.
and he takes 2d6 fire damage
at the start or the end. Start.
At the
so
start
go
of
ahead,
his turn, and at the
roll
end
damage.
he can make the save again.
roll damage.
That is 3 fire damage.
Okay. You
Bad
see
rolls.
little bits of fire kind of getting into the metal. The metal itself glowing like not quite cherry red, but it's heating up. On his turn, he is going to look at you, and he sneers. Binding is weak. Be gone. And he points at you. And Guntir, I need you, I believe, to make a wisdom saving throw.
Banish me?
He is indeed.
I was gonna try to. How is banishing someone? How is that not weak? You're sending someone away so we can't even fight.
Go ahead and make a charisma saving throw. Guntir.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's actually good.
Yeah.
You
With all
thought.
the talking you do, I'd hope it's good.
Yeah, that's right. That's a 22. Get out of here.
22.
Well, I guess
Get
I
out
don't
of
get out of here.
That is
You
going
get
to
out.
So as he does that, there is a moment you see the energy leap from his hand. It is this lightning bolt of almost invisible energy that crackles towards you. And as it gets to you, you feel that beacon that is settled onto you just kind of ripple it away. And it just disperses into the air. He snarls again.
You're trying to get me out of here.
I'm trying to get you back to doing what you're supposed to be.
I'm doing whatever I'm feeling like doing, and that's what I'm supposed to be.
That is his turn. What is his DC for the saving throw?
Grammar on this.
7.
All right. It doesn't matter. He rolled a natural one. All right. That is his turn. Morwen, what's your next sleight of hand throw?
It was 25.
As you guys are yelling at each other, Morwen, you can see this younger woman. She has what looks like a gold bracelet. And as she reaches back and she's looking for this kid that she has with her, the bracelet kind of goes over part of the wrist, and you just help it go all the way. You can add a gold bracelet to your inventory. It is now your turn. Guntir, what would you like to do?
It does seem as though Gunter's in trouble, Heinrich.
So, using my action,
You guys are far enough that it would take a good amount of time to get there.
I'm
I
going
do not
to
face that Shae.
get the crowd going
man.
now.
Okay.
So I'm
This is
going to
becoming
use the
WWE.
help action to help Morwen by getting the crowd even more riled up. Because I'm going to be like, oh, who's the more powerful? And then bonus action, I'm going to smack him with my axe.
Okay.
So you're gonna be with your hand.
No. He's still restrained, so I'm too.
It's at advantage.
Oh, don't need it because that was a natural 20.
Well done.
You don't want to find that secret 21st face on the D20?
So, let me see here. That's my regular damage die. And then a 6. So that is, 14, and you double that, plus, solid 7? No, plus 3.
Okay, so 31 points of what kind of damage?
It is a combination of slashing damage, which is
Okay.
14.
28 of the points.
No, sorry, it is 8 points of the damage, and then 7 radiant.
Okay.
And then I guess the other is it's slashing because it's from the slash attack.
Matt, how much of it was radiant damage?
7.
Okay, so making this much harder than it needs to be.
I have all these it's like different types of damage all the time.
So you swing through. The energy crackles off of it and into him. He actually almost tries to take a step back, but the flames seem to keep him up. Good shot. Anything else?
That's all I can do. I've used my action, bonus action. Yeah, that's it.
Fair enough. At the start of his turn, he takes the damage, so go ahead and roll that.
Nice. 8.
8. So
Fire.
you can see now the metal where this fire is like overlapping is now glowing red. It's getting hotter and hotter as it does, and that's what's doing the damage. He looks up at you and he snarls. He puts his hand on his chest, and all of a sudden the fire just is gone. As he uses cleansing touch to relieve himself of that particular spell. That is his action, however.
Spell? It is a rune. Does that count?
Yes, because
Okay.
it's
A spell effect?
yeah, it's you know what? He wouldn't be able to do that, but he would know that. So rewinding that for a second. Still kind of stuck where he is. Fair enough. He is going to take his hand. You see something shift, almost like he's moving a coin between his fingers. And he is going to cast Freedom of Movement on himself. That is his action. Now, no longer technically restrained, he is going to bonus action just get one punch on you because he can't pull out a weapon right now. That is going to be a 23 to hit.
That just hits. Yeah.
And he is going to pump Divine Smite into that. And he's going to burn a big spell slot because you are not playing friendly with him. Where do all my d8s go? There we go. All right. So, Guntir, you are going to take a simple 13 points of slashing damage along with 7, 11, 12, 17,
Oh boy.
23, 28, 36, 40 points of lightning damage. The punch hits you, and you can feel the metal kind of shift on your body, and as the inside of the armor touches your skin,
What was the total?
41?
Okay.
Oh, including the slashing damage?
Yeah, was it 40 lightning and 13
7
slashing?
Oh, 13
7?
slashing.
That's
13
53
slashing.
total.
Okay, 53. Okay. I
Seven.
just wanted to make sure that I was
The
dying
punch hits the
correctly.
metal, and the metal hits your flesh, and as it does, the electricity channeled through Cord himself ripples through your body. The clouds get darker, and you hear thunder roll once again. Anything else? Or sorry, are you still up?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, excellent. Whoops,
Well,
somewhere in the distance,
I'm relatively
a horn
good.
plays. So that is his turn. Morwen, you had one more outside of hand check?
It was a natural 20.
Okay.
Nice.
Give me the goods.
You can see at this point there are now guards beginning to push their way into the crowd. You notice on one of them there is a key ring that's kind of on the belt. There is also like a little leather pouch. It's square, has like a little buckle on it. Which of those two would you like?
Keys.
Okay. You slip the keys off. You can see he almost kind of like swats away as if something touched, but continues to try to push his way through. Guntir, what would you like to do?
Well, since he tried it, I'm gonna banish him.
Okay, good. Charisma saving throw?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
no
his-
way.
His charisma's worse.
25.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna do it.
He rolled an 18. I mean, he's not that charismatic, but that's he does have a little bit of help with the saving throw. Okay, so
Okay.
that's your action. You point. You can see the energy go out, but in a very similar way.
I get out of here! No, you get out of here!
He just swats it aside.
It's a high stakes argument, but to anyone else watching, it just looks like people pointing and yelling.
Yeah. Kind of.
And then, I guess I'm gonna not use a bonus action this round. Yeah, I'm gonna use my second wind to regain some health. D10.
Sure. Well, the passive perception is 17, right?
Correct.
Morwen, on the other end, like down the end of the street, probably will not arrive here in the space of this melee. You can see a couple of other figures wearing similar armor and bearing the hand and the cross lightning bolts of Guntir's order.
Ah, jeez.
Seeing that, I'm going to get a little closer to the action than just the outskirts in case this becomes a not 1v1 situation.
Sure. Worth noting with that passive perception, you also notice of these people, one of them is a human male, one is a human female. They are carrying between them a very large, heavy iron chest. For what it is worth, you see them kind of moving in your direction. Guntir?
I want to rob it. But I won't right now.
Anything else, Guntir?
Is it my turn?
Yes.
No, I've finished my turn.
What was your?
Yeah. So, your turn's done.
I got 13. I got full health.
Okay, great. So you're channeling divinity into yourself?
No, that was just my second wind.
Second wind, right? Fighters, great. Okay. So you grit your teeth. You've been through worse. You've been around for 287 years, and you've felt pain before.
Ew, and it's like extra big.
Oh yeah. That amplifies.
Guntir, he is going to pull from his side. It looks to be like a fairly simple short sword. And he's going to go ahead and start making attacks against you. The first one is going to be a 17 to hit, which I believe is
That's
a miss.
a miss.
Second one is going to be a 24 to hit.
That's gonna hit.
That is 11 plus. My brain just broke for a second. That's 16 points of slashing damage. And 1 point of lightning damage. He can't pump Divine Smites anymore.
Nice.
That is his action. However, for his bonus action, he is going to open his mouth.
Oh, is he gonna use his flame breath
Gonna kill
on me?
more people in the crowd too.
It's very possible. The people have been running, and there are like people now kind of expanding the circle, and so there's a little bit more movement around. Guntir, can you roll a D100 for me, please?
Oh boy.
Opening up the pit. I'll wait. After
That
I open
is
up
a 21.
Oh, wait.
A 21. Okay. So Guntir, as he opens his mouth, you can see elements of lightning begin to kind of gather. It seems to recede and intensify before erupting out of his mouth. A 30-foot line of lightning erupts and goes through your space. It is going to hit one more person. But Guntir, you are going to take 12 points of lightning damage. And Morwen, you watch another person in this crowd just drop. The guards are now beginning to approach with a little bit more of a frantic pace. And Guntir, all of a sudden, maybe like 10 feet away, you can see somebody else in this crowd is pulling something out that you just notice a flurry of movement nearby.
Oh boy.
Morwen, you got something
like
to do?
another weapon?
Yeah,
Someone trying to backstab me?
I'm just gonna.
That happens a lot.
Use the stone again and be like, guys, where the fuck are you? Big oops.
Okay.
That's all. Because
You guys hear this in the sending stone.
Should we go help?
Yeah.
Heinrich, for
mean-
what it's worth, you are
Yeah.
around 250 feet away.
Mhm.
If you could, I mean, I don't know what kind of spells you have that might be able to do something, but that's in range of certain spells with spell
Yeah, I know.
sniper.
If I
Um,
don't
I
have
know, I'm
spell
just choosing
sniper,
not to.
unfortunately.
yeah, so
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
That-
Eldritch Blast does have a decent range, but I'd have to get at least half that distance closer.
sure.
Shae would take off running in that
Yeah.
direction.
I'll start hustling as well.
Okay. So you're going
Like
through the window, or
concerned
Yes.
jog, but not sprint.
Okay. No problem. You leap through the window. The window shutters up against before they slowly come back. Heinrich, are you taking the stairs?
Yeah, I'm gonna dismiss nod and be like, all right, seems like there's some trouble. Hang out.
Yeah, stare,
And you
buddy.
begin to run down the stairs. Shae, are you taking your full?
Yes.
That is
Full movement is 70, so 2 times that.
Welcome
So
to the initiative, Shae.
you drop down and you sprint. The street flies by you. People are like running past you. You can see mixtures of fear. Some people almost giggling with like that relief of escaping the situation. You pass a guard who's on the way, and you actually get to within like 60, 70 feet of this kind of like it's melee. You see a blue scale dragonborn in full plate mail armor holding a
Giant
short just
Guntir.
Guntir, who is 10 feet tall, taller even than this dragonborn. They're like toe to toe and fighting. That is your turn, however. Morwen, is there anything that you want to do in this moment?
If I see Shae coming, if I
Yeah, with your
see her,
perception, you would. Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna run up to her, be like, make sure nothing happens to Guntir, and I'm now going to fuck off and see where these keys go to. Now that the guards are distracted, I'm taking full advantage here.
Sure. So Morwen just off and into one of these alleyways.
Just tag out.
Yeah. It is.
Is this a duel? Question. Like, just trail off.
What are you doing?
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm going to use one of my 5th level spell slots
Okay.
to cast Holy Weapon,
Sure.
which will drop my other concentration spell, so my AC's back down to 18.
Fair enough.
And then I'm gonna.
What does your holy weapon look like? Or no, sorry, you're casting not divine weapon. You're doing holy weapon. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm imbuing the currently held axe.
Sure. The axe begins to glow with this bright blue light.
And I'm gonna smack this dude
Sure.
for hopefully a bunch of damage. We'll see, I guess.
And give it a try.
That is a 22.
22 hits.
And let's see. Good number of dice now for this damage. He's not restrained anymore, correct?
Correct.
Well, not cool, but understandable. Alright. That is... Ooh, nice. That is... So, 11 radiant damage. And 18 slashing damage. I was like almost max damage that I could do on that.
Yeah, not bad. Okay, so you slash in as this light consumes the axe for a brief moment, and as you swing, it hits him. You can hear the metal tear. It digs. It actually sticks for just a moment in the scales, and for the first time, you see him wince a little bit in pain. Anything else?
Nope, that's it. Bonus action and
Alrighty.
action.
Excellent. On his turn, he spits, and you see just a little bit of this very dark blood kind of mixed into the saliva. Fine. You can see he holds up a hand, and from the sky, you can see this beginning of a lightning bolt. Guntir, make a dexterity saving throw.
God, it's always a dex save. Always. That's what you get for making a character with shitty dex.
This is 287.
That's a 16.
Not bad.
Okay, that is a
It's
fail.
like, yeah.
That, by one. That's not. That
Oh
was pretty good.
man, if only I
So
had like a
close.
modifier.
So, I have one more d6.
Oh man, you hate to see it when
clouds
the DM
swirl
has to
and
go
you
get
can-
more dice for
Yeah,
damage.
this is a lot of dice. You see the clouds swirl, and you see and you hear the the thunder rolls, and then all of a sudden, this lightning bolt, so
So
powerful it knocks my headphones off, comes from the heavens.
Felt it from
7,
here.
8, 9, 10, 11, 27, 20, 29, 30, 31. That is 39 points of lightning damage.
Just the lightning.
You and the ground around you erupts in flames. You are now on fire,
Oh shoot!
and
Oh
you
my God,
hear
10
up
foot
above
tall
you,
Guntir on fire.
and you see lightning begin to form again. This is not lightning bolt. This is something else. That is his turn. Shae, what do we have to do?
Oh boy!
Is it obvious from what
I
I'm
am
looking
on
at
fire.
that
He's a
Gunter's
10-foot-tall burning Guntir.
I am on
His
fire.
platinum hair is like rippling down and burning him.
The question
You've got
isn't,
the
is
decanter
it
of endless
obvious?
water, bro. Use it.
Well, that's what I. Yeah.
okay.
You do,
Gonna run up and join Gunter. And I think, am I coming from behind this guy?
You're coming from the side of them, so they're kind of both equidistant to you.
Okay. Run up and he'll catch a punch on my way over, but I'm gonna put myself next to Gunter.
Okay.
No, don't punch me. I might die.
Not you, him.
It's hard to tell
She
sometimes.
catch on fire if she punched you.
What?
That's a 22 to hit.
Fire.
22 to hit, that hits.
Is it magically like, is this magical fire?
And that
Is this magical fire?
Like, on my body?
No, this is normal fire.
Okay. So I'm not gonna
9
try to put
points
it out.
of bludgeoning, but it's magical bludgeoning.
9 points of bludgeoning, but it is magical bludgeoning. All right. Not bad. As a reaction, he is going to get an attack off on you, Shae. Oh boy. That is a natural 20.
As what reaction, though?
You're attacking?
Yeah,
Oh, right. You have that as part of your monk thing. Okay.
correct.
Fair enough. So he's not going to get that reaction.
Way to get that D20
Although-
out of our way.
When a creature... Okay, when a creature makes an attack, you can get an attack of opportunity. Technically, this does not specify that it's an attack of opportunity against you, the way it's worded. I'm going to just interpret it the way that it's supposed to be. So, no problem. You skip away from this punch, or from this attack. That is your turn. That is going to bring us to
And
Morwen.
Put
Morwen, you're out
myself
of...
kind of like half step behind Gunter, but to the side.
Sure, no problem. That is your turn. Morwen, you're out of initiative because you're just fucking off. Heinrich, you get another 60 feet closer. You are now only about... you get out the door.
I'm like not quite halfway there yet. This is
Yeah, you're
based
out the
on
door,
description
around
of
the corner,
distance.
and now you're heading up the pathway. You
Yeah.
can see them up, and you can see Gunter for sure on fire.
on fire.
And 10 feet tall.
10 feet tall.
And I just kind of like while running, go like, oh Jesus, and back to running.
I do want to ask. So if I have like my own little thing going, how exactly is that going to fit into what's happening? Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
After that is okay. So, Gunter, the person that you saw that flicker of movement, you recognize as a dagger, and in this brief kind of moment, what is your passive perception? It's pretty good. It's 20.
20.
It's as time is like slowing down. You're on fire. You see this hulking dragonborn below you. Shae kind of skirted to your side, screaming. People are running now. Guards are coming. You see this little flicker of motion. Shae, you see somebody on the opposite side of Gunter slide right in behind him. As the dagger flashes out with both of your... well, actually, only you can see the Shae. You see this similar kind of brand on his wrist. Gunter, this is going to be a sneak attack on you. That's not that great. 19. You're 20, 21.
I'm at a 18 right now because I'm
Okay.
concentrating on a different thing.
Gunter, you are going to take 7 points of slashing or piercing damage, sorry, and
Sneak attack damage.
Only 14 points of additional
Ooh.
piercing damage.
I'm
You
close.
turn, and this is like this is in the back of your calf. This halfling not quite able to reach up any higher, but it does hurt. He sneers at you from behind. That is his turn. Guntir, what do you want to do?
All right, I am going to use one of my actions because I am going to go ahead and use my second win, or my action surge rather. So I'm going to first channel divinity and regain 50 HP because I don't want to die right here. And then for my second action, I'm going to smack him again with my attack.
Okay.
Because I've got this magical weapon that's doing a decent amount of damage to him right now. That is not going to hit. That's like a 14.
That misses.
Alright. Then I guess, having been stabbed just now, I think...
Worth noting also at the start of your turn, you took 4 points of fire damage.
Oh. Crap, that's what I needed to do on this turn. I forgot
I'm on
that
fire,
I
and
needed
I
to put
forgot.
out the fire.
I mean, you know, it's you're big right now. There's a lot going on. The adrenaline is keeping you from really feeling that.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing that I just healed. That's gonna, let's see. For my... is it time to cut and run?
What are you doing?
While you're 10 feet big and on fire?
I don't want to dismiss it yet. I'm gonna save that. I guess, am I now in a position where I would be able to be taken advantage of by the dude who just stabbed me in the ankle?
I mean, you know where he is. You don't really know.
I would like to, not losing my focus on the dude who's trying to kill me over here, but I would like to make note of the attention that is being paid to the dude over here.
I saw him,
And
Guntir.
if able to, I would like to back up about 5 feet so that I am not directly flanked on either side by two
Yeah,
people.
you're large enough that you can do
Oh,
that. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
you can shift in your space over. So now there is like 10 feet between you, Shae, and this dragonborn. Guntir is to the left of you, and this little thief thing,
I'm like,
10 feet away from you, and next
you
to
just
Guntir.
stabbed me in the ankle! What are you doing?
That is your turn. It is the Dragonborn's turn. As a bonus action, the lightning strikes again. Guntir, make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh my
He's turning his
God.
attention to you, Shae.
Okay.
Dex saves. Nice. That is a 17, which I think just barely saves me.
17, well, it's a success, yes.
Well, yeah. Saves me from worse
Full
than...
brunt of it.
11,
Yeah.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 29, 34, 40 again. Halved to 20 points of lightning damage.
Okay, that's
Because
that's
he
a
did
good
succeed.
half.
That is his bonus action. You could see above the storm clouds swirl angrily, and again, thunder, and then you see again more of this blue energy ripple. There's another bolt coming. For his action, he is going to take the distance between to you, Shae. You see, he skirts alongside Guntir, not provoking an attack of opportunity. The first attack is
Is
a
this
swing
with a
sword.
weapon? With a sword?
This is yes.
Okay.
Just so that you can see this. That is a natural 20.
Jesus.
Okay.
He does not have Divine Smite, which is very fortunate for you.
Yep.
Because that would be... sorry, I just moved that, and I realize now you had it all carefully positioned. But
You're good.
You're good.
am I still in the frame? Excellent.
You're good.
That is going to be 16 plus 5, 21 points of slashing damage plus 10 points of lightning damage as he swings with the first attack.
34, you said? All told?
Perhaps. What did I roll? The first one was a 16, was it? 34 is roughly right, but I'm kind of counting on you guys to help me out here a little bit. Second attack is only going to be a 17 to hit, which I believe misses.
That will miss.
Okay. He swings once
And
and again.
he's swinging with a sword, right?
This is correct.
I'm gonna try to disarm him. So that's
Okay.
my sleight of hand versus his athletics or acrobatics, his choice.
Okay, it's going to be athletics.
24.
30.
Shit.
Oh, wow. You hate to see that.
You do, and he rolled okay, but yeah, that's kind of his jam. You attempt to twist your arm as he strikes out. You try to parry the blade and move it, almost as if you're going to catch it. Seeing this, he's able to shift it. It doesn't quite do the damage that it could have, but certainly not disarmed.
Okay.
That is his turn. Bonus action, movement. Shae, what would you like to do?
I can see the halfling, right?
Yes, and right now you can see the dagger kind of held so that the blade coming down, he shifts it as if he's ready to now strike, and another dagger appears. He no longer has sneak attack, but he has 2 daggers.
Cool. He's my target now. I want to hit him.
Okay. Worth noting, it doesn't seem like he sees you.
Sick.
This is going to be kind of a blindside.
Sick. He's taking all the hits then. That is a 26.
26 definitely hits.
For 8.
Okay.
And that's a 25.
25. Yep, that hits.
For max damage, 13.
Nice.
And then he'll take a flurry of blows. Why not? 23.
23, that hits.
For 8. And 29.
That hits as well.
For 8 again.
Nice. So in total, 37 points of damage. Guntir, you turn around, and in your voice, it's more of like hey, you just stabbing me? And then as you do, you turn to see him. He reverses the grip on the dagger. Another one appears. He bares his teeth, and all of a sudden, Shae it's Ip Man style, just beats into him. He almost like withers under this blow. He is looking pretty rough.
And positioning myself so that I'm between him and Guntir.
You cannot do that because you cannot occupy the same space as
Okay.
Guntir.
Fair enough. Close enough
yeah.
then. That's my intention.
Okay, so you just kind of shift over a little bit, but you stay roughly in the same spot.
Yep.
That is your turn. It is now this little halfling's turn. That was a lot of damage, and he wasn't really expecting that, so he's going to disengage with his bonus action.
Okay.
And he is going to move 10 feet back, and he's going to throw one of these daggers because he does not want to get that close. It's going to be at you, Shae.
Sure.
What disadvantage?
Can I deflect missiles, though, if it hits?
It certainly does not hit. That is going to be a 5 to hit.
No, that's
He
not
rolled a natural 20 and a 2. So
That's rough, buddy.
off and just into the air. No idea where that's going to land. There are people running everywhere. Probably not great. That is his turn. His bonus action movement. Yeah. That brings us to Heinrich. You are roughly 80 feet away.
Oh, perfect. I stop and put my hands on my hips and shake my head.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Shake your head.
So I will stop. So I'm quite a distance away.
Yep, 80
And
feet.
then I'm gonna use Wall of Light to ring them off basically from each other.
Okay.
Passing it so around Guntir and Shae, but have it also pass through the face if I can, or pass through the Dragonborn.
Yeah.
Can I see the
Yeah, you can do
little
that.
dude too, or no?
Yeah, he's closer to you than anybody else. So you can
Perfect.
see him. Thus, he's 10 feet back behind the group. So
I'll make the ring a squiggly ring that catches him as well.
it's an S.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like one of those really cool.
Guntir and
S's that I
Shae are
keep
nestled
drawing in the
into
back of my
the-
notebooks.
Gunter's
Guntir and
lines.
Shae are like nestled into the bottom curve of the S, and the Dragonborn on the opposite side, the top curve of the S. This guy, 10 feet back, he's right at the foot of this wall of light. So Shae and Guntir, you see these familiar celestial glyphs of teal energy burst from the ground, light shining up before this wall of light erupts around you.
So they both need to make con saving throws immediately.
Okay, Dragonborn, that's going to be pretty decent. That is a 20 for the Dragonborn.
Just beat the save. Still take damage, but not blind.
The thief is it's like a 22. He rolled a natural 20 for that.
Nice.
I rolled 4 natural 20s tonight. This is my favorite.
Well, I nearly rolled maximum damage with that, so they still take half of it. Maximum damage.
That's a lot of damage.
So 15 each. Half. That's the half. It's 30.
When the dice know
30.
they're going after Guntir.
It was a con save, correct? Not a dex save.
Correct. Constitution saving throw.
How
To not be
much hit?
blinded. To not be blinded and take full damage, but instead they just take half of it. So the half is 15.
15.
Radiant. Oh wait. Plus my charisma. That's right. Because it's a radiant spell. So that would be 35 halved to up or down. 18 or 17.
Down.
Down 17.
17. So this light, and as it gets right into this thieve's face, Shae, you watch. He kind of backpedals once before it erupts through him. The light expanding through the back, and he falls back, projected almost 5 feet, and falls down unconscious.
Point of order: the light is you can't see through it. It blocks line of sight.
Yeah, and so where you are, so Shae is nestled in this curve. He was at the very foot of it before he was launched backwards by that blow. So you see him fall, Guntir, Shae, you see him. The Dragonborn doesn't. Great work.
So yeah, that's
Anything
regular
else?
action.
The tables
Nope.
have turned.
That's it. I'm gonna stay where I am and try to not draw any attention. Like I did that, but it's not obvious that it was me and whatever. I'm gonna just try to like stand off to the side so I can keep using it on future turns.
Fair enough. At this point, Heinrich, you can see more guards kind of beginning to close in. They're getting to within 20 feet of this entire fight. As this wall goes up, some of them stop. There's a few that take a step back. That definitely creates some hesitation. Guntir, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna smack him again.
Okay. You cannot.
I can't because I can't.
Can't see him. There's just a blazing wall of light in front.
Yeah, it's 10 feet high, so it's just at the top of your head level.
Yeah.
So it's like, so what
So-
can I do through this wall? Nothing.
Fire. Sorry to go there, but
I can't hear you, Allie.
no, it's just, aren't you still on fire?
Oh, am I? I'm still. on
Yeah,
fire,
you are. Sorry.
I'm gonna.
I'm just saying.
Oh, no,
I know
put it
I
out.
shouldn't. I know I shouldn't, but like,
Thank you. I
you
appreciate
don't know
that.
what else to do.
Guntir, 6 points of fire damage from last turn.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe you should put it out. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna put out the fire, I guess.
Okay, so
as
that is an
my
action.
action. And then I don't really have a bonus action that I can do when there's a wall in front of me.
So now, Guntir, you
It's not
look,
physical. You can
and
walk
as the fire is burning, your hair, the bald part of your head is reappearing. The beard still glowing, glorious and platinum, but the fire is now out. You tap it out. This little smoke goes up. That is your turn. It is now this Dragonborn's turn. Nobody from this vantage point can see him, but Shae, from over the wall, you can just hear, huh, the church is here. That is, he's going to move 10 feet down, 5 feet forward, would bring him into sight
So you
of
pass
you,
through it.
Heinrich.
Oh,
No, he's going to go around it.
Okay. Is he looking for a way in? Because there isn't one technically. He could walk through it. He just can't end his turn there without shit happening.
He's looking for you. Over this wall, Gunter, you hear the voice of this dragonborn now turning, and Heinrich, you see him now turn back, looking into the wall where he presumes Gunter is because he can't see him.
Am I sufficiently hidden? Like, I tried to make a point to be like nonchalantly, like I'm not.
You're a tiefling in the kingdom. You're
No,
not
well, I mean, like, not
especially-
causing the spell necessarily.
You use your movement, so there was nowhere further for you to move. You're kind of like just kind of ducking into like the side area of this street, but it is like an upwards moving street of cobblestone. There's not a lot of cover. You don't.
Like, would he be able to pinpoint that I am the one casting the spell, like after the fact that I cast it and now I'm done? Because concentrating is just
You
like
have
a
no
mental
idea.
thing.
Is it possible?
That's
Yes,
the
but you
thing
have
that
no
I'm
idea.
trying to accomplish. That's
You
all
can
I'm
see
saying.
him, and so you know that he can physically see you.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as I like nonchalantly, like, whoa, look at that. That's crazy over there.
I mean, he looked right at you, but you don't know whether or not that means anything. However, in this moment, he does turn over this wall of light, and he does say to you, Gunter, Brother Honeydew, is this churchgoer with you?
What?
That is his turn. Shae, what are you doing?
You're muted.
Shae, what are you doing?
Say yes, Gunter.
Yeah, that's on Gunter's turn.
Well, that's my turn.
Okay, fantastic. It is this thief's turn, but he's unconscious. Heinrich, what are you doing?
I'll direct a beam of radiant light from it at the dragonborn.
Okay, yeah.
'Cause I
What is
can,
that?
I can shoot it, and it subtracts 10 feet. I can do it 6 times. The wall's 60 feet long.
What is the
Each time I
saving
do
throw
it,
for
it
that?
shrinks. No, I attack him.
Okay, yeah, make
I
a
like
attack.
literally just shoot it at him.
Pew.
So, that plus that, total 18. Does that hit?
18 misses.
Damn. Okay, so it shoots right by him.
Roll a d100 for me.
Fun, crowds of people.
Oh, killing more crowd members. Oh no.
Only
got
one's
91.
technically dead. Oh, okay.
Now.
Do I
This
roll
beam
damage?
of light, no,
Okay.
off, and you can see it ripples, the cobblestone kind of lighting up in its wake. It strikes the side of the house and just dissipates.
Okay. So the wall shrinks in 10 feet by doing
Okay.
that. I'll like, if I can choose where I open up the spot or whatever, or shrink it in, I'm gonna try to keep them closed in it basically still.
Sure, you do the part that the dragonborn moved away from.
And it'll kind of like shrink and close in around them.
Sure. That is your turn. The guards are really probably going to stay back. There's a few of them kind of beginning to like help people move away. Gunter, what do you want to do?
What? What church?
Is that your turn?
I still can't hit him, right? Because the wall's in front of me.
Yeah, you can't
Is the
see
wall?
him.
So, is the
It's
wall
curving around you.
behind me? Is there an exit?
Yes,
It's
there's a
the whole-
5-foot space
well, no, the
that you could
whole-
move through.
I feel like the whole area would just shrink around them and stay concentric.
Oh.
If that's
Well,
possible.
also if it's
Not
5
like a
feet
timer
of space,
kind of thing. More like
don't
Yeah.
I take up 10 feet?
Okay,
right
so you
now?
want to make it into a circle?
yeah, like I'm shrinking it by 10 feet in its circumference like every time I do it, but I'm keeping
So
that
it's
ring
like-
in it.
Okay.
closing in like that
Yeah.
on us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So okay. I have seen Heinrich do this before, so I'm hoping that it's him. So I think I'm just gonna be like, what church? I don't know church.
Okay.
Church of
Yeah.
Pain, and I'm the priest.
Jesus.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god.
Okay, anything else?
You're praying to the
I guess
Prince of Pain.
bonus action, wag my fist angrily in the direction that I think he is beyond the wall.
Okay, you do so. The wall does not seem to respond. That is your turn. It is now his turn. I guess if that's how you're going to respond, he's going to use his bonus action to call lightning down on you. Make a dexterity saving throw.
I feel like you were just softballed and you like slammed your bat against the like backstop of the thing instead of trying to swing for the ball.
You just hit the umpire. He was like
Yeah,
trying to
you
get up.
just you smacked the umpire in the face instead. Like
18! 18! Oh my
18?
god, I'm rolling
Okay.
so well with these dex saves tonight. It's amazing. But I'm
12,
still gonna
24, 25,
die.
26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 34, 36, which is, so you're taking 36 points of lightning damage, which is halved into 18.
Okay. That's
That
good
is his
that it was
bonus
halved, because I
action.
would be dead.
And for his regular
Oh.
action. Yes.
No, that's... I was just saying, oh, his bonus action might kill me instead.
For his regular action, I mean, he's kind of short on spells. He doesn't have a ton of them. He is going to take his full movement around. He's trying to find, like, and you can see Heinrich, he's trying to like look through this wall. He cannot see an opening through it. His eyes scan the crowd. That's all he could really do. That's going to be his turn. Shae, anything else? Or Shae, your turn. Sorry. You're muted. Maybe.
Guntir, let me climb up to your shoulder.
Alright!
I'm gonna climb up to Guntir's shoulder.
Okay, no problem. I mean, it's not even difficult terrain for you. You're a monk. You leap. Guntir goes down to help you, and you just jump. You land on one shoulder. Guntir, you don't even really buckle with your new size.
This is a new experience for me.
It's usually the other way around. Anyway, can I see him from this vantage point?
Yes, now that you were up on his shoulders, you can see over this this wall.
Can I jump out on an opposite point from where he is?
Like,
Make an
Jump
acrobatics
behind
check. Yeah, sure.
Like, Anakin trying to take the high ground, except
That's what I was picturing.
yeah, but maybe let's
That's
not
a
compare it to that
24.
one.
24,
Don't
yeah.
try it!
You leap. It's a somersault in the air. You hold your hands out in order to stabilize yourself. The weight of your feet
goes,
swings you forward, and you land facing away from him, but using your momentum and spinning, you shift into a readied stance. How far do you want to be behind him? You can get up to 15 feet behind him.
The full distance behind him.
Okay,
15.
15 feet away. No problem.
And then I want to turn around and start walking in the direction that I know Heinrich is.
Okay.
And that's that.
Okay, you watch his eyes follow you and then go back to the wall of light. That is your turn. Heinrich, what do you want to do?
Another bolt from the
Okay,
wall.
yeah, go ahead.
Making
Roll
it
your
slower
attack.
and slower. I need to get this guy. I rolled like shit before. Now
Worth noting,
I have
Guntir,
to-
the storm above, there is no more lightning rippling through. It seems that this effect has ended.
There we
Oh,
go.
good.
How's
that's
it?
good.
21.
21? Yeah, that just hits.
Okay, perfect. So the wall shrinks a little more, closing in around Guntir.
How much space do I have in here now?
There's
It's literally
40-foot concentric, like now less S-shaped, odd wall.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So split between mid to low rolls and then two maxes. We got 30. Sorry, 34 plus
Nice.
37 radiant damage.
All right.
Nice.
This beam streaks out through it. And as it does, Guntir, from where you are, and Shae, from where you are, even though you're turning around, so you actually wouldn't see this, but Guntir, you see from the beam of light, it leaves this streak of celestial
Do I?
runes that drift off of it.
Because the wall.
No, you
Yeah,
wouldn't,
but I believe...
Guntir.
yeah, I guess not. So, you don't see that
I'm
either?
also just like leaning up against a house,
I
just
see,
like, licking my finger
I-
like this
Sure, yeah.
nonchalantly to like try to attack him.
And
Sure.
some kids
Jump.
looking at him being like, that's a fun game. And then like,
People just dying everywhere.
what power do I have?
Okay. That is your turn. The wall is shrinking. Guntir, what do you want to do?
So there's no exits for me.
You can pass through it.
Oh, can I? Do I die though?
Nothing happens if you walk right through it, and unless you end your turn on it.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna like poke my head through to see, like in the direction that he had been, to see if
Okay.
he's still like.
So, like
out.
Jurassic Park Tyrannosaurus in the cafeteria,
And his
this
two little
large Guntir head, yeah, these pretty little hands holding the axe, just through. The light like separates, and it's this underlit, like sinister Guntir face, very Attack and Titan.
And
but yeah,
huge. Oh my god.
Can I
huge.
see
the
him?
Dragonborn. Yeah.
All right.
Don't end there because you'll go
Yeah.
blind.
I'm gonna move. How far away is he
Actually,
now
no, you won't go
from me?
blind.
About 10 feet. No, closer to 20 feet.
Okay. I am going to move such that I am in my range to hit him, and then I'm gonna
Okay.
hit him. Yeah, I'm gonna hit him because I still have
Okay.
my holy sword up. Nice. That is 23.
23, that hits.
All right. Hopefully, this does some damage that will kill him.
Usually what it does.
So that is 5 points of divine energy or radiant energy, and I'm re-rolling my slashing because I rolled a 1.
Mm-hmm.
That is 6 slashing plus. I rolled another 1. Ooh, nice. That went from a 1 to an 8, so that's 14 slashing, and I think, what did I say, 5 radiant?
Yes.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. So worth noting, he's starting to look a little hurt. As this hit goes through and the damage sinks in, you can see parts of this plate mail pristine before, dented, charred. You can see elements of blood actually seeping through one of the cuts that's been rent through. You can see part of his blue scale kind of scalded from where that beam of light had hit.
Okay.
He's starting to look kind of hurt.
Cool. Then in that case, I think I want to use my bonus action to disengage the spell, my holy weapon spell.
Okay.
So he's going to. So it's going to cause the weapon to emit a burst of radiance. Each creature of my choice that I can see within 30 feet of the weapon must make a con saving throw. I'm going to choose everyone except for myself, Shae, and Heinrich and Morwen if they're in range, but I can't see them anyway.
And how? And what range of you?
You're gonna kill somebody.
Within 30 feet.
There's at this point there's no civilians within 30
Oh,
feet.
good.
There
Okay.
is
Guards.
there's one guard. Okay, so what is the saving throw?
So
Con?
it's a con saving throw.
Dragonborn is a 27,
Okay.
and the guard is you rolled pretty good too, an 18.
Okay. So neither of them have failed,
Okay.
but they take half of 4d8 radiant damage.
All right, yeah, roll your damage. See if you can kill a guard. That'll definitely make things very interesting.
Okay, but in fairness, he started it, and he killed an innocent civilian.
Now you're about to attack a guard.
That's
when you
8
could have said
8
not the guard.
radiant damage.
8 radiant damage? Okay.
And also, oh, sorry, actually, I have to do it 4d6. So that's actually 14 plus 8, 20, half of 22, so 11.
11? Okay.
Yeah. So that actually was probably worse.
So, as you do this, the radiant damage, you can see it hits the Dragonborn. He grunts a little bit. But this guard, it hits him square in the chest.
He's
You
not
could
blinded.
No, but he's badly hurt. You see the armor itself like smoldering with this glowing white fire as it like off. You can see part of his neck like bubbling a little bit. Probably not a great look for you. Anything else?
I'm gonna start running.
Okay. Does your movement speed change when you're giant?
I don't think so.
Oh my god, so you're just still slow but huge.
Presumably, right? Like I don't
Okay,
think it changes my.
So it's like 2 steps is your movement.
Yeah.
It's like little shuffle steps.
Yeah.
So
it
for the
doesn't
moment,
say
25
anything.
feet. You can
Doesn't
take your
say
full
anything
movement.
about my
Are you
movement.
going in the direction of Heinrich, or where are you going?
I'm making my escape. So, what direction, without having to use a turn action to do so, is away from the Dragonborn and the guard, and looks like it's gonna get me out of town.
I mean, that's a perception check. So right now, your choices: you can go south towards Heinrich. There's a path to the west which you have not looked at. Your back has been to most of the time. North is.
I'm gonna run back into the wall area.
Okay,
And
so you go
not in
back to where you were.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm
In
turtling.
doing
Come out,
so,
bang, and then run
in
back.
doing so, Guntir, you do turn to the west, and you can now see there are 2 more members of your order. They're carrying a heavy iron box, usually used to transport fairly dangerous material. They're in the process of dropping it, and you can see one of them pulling out this large metallic contraption. You've seen people in your order use this before. This is a full body binding cuff.
Jeez.
It's designed to lock somebody in place so that their hands cannot use to cast spells. That is your turn. That brings us to the Dragonborn's turn. Now that Call Lightning is down, he is going to lightning bolt you because there's nobody else to really hurt.
He can't see me though.
That's true.
He has to run
However,
into
you
the-
step back through.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as you don't end your turn on the space of the wall.
Hang on one sec.
Just blocks line of sight. It's also
Yeah, I
really
was gonna
bright
say
too,
if
but
you
we're
do
not in the
This is
dark
a
area,
spell,
so it doesn't
right?
matter. What
This is a spell?
wall of light? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's not on him. Okay. So he is going to use a perception check to look for the source of this wall of light.
Oh,
That's a
good.
9. So you can see
So
scouring the way.
9.
We're very
He's
German
going
tonight.
to
Goldschlager.
look forward. I remember this guy's name. He is going to call out. So many tabs open now because of all these different things that are happening.
Don't forget Morwen's doing something else this whole
I
time.
know.
Yeah,
I
being
know.
sketchy.
Da-da-da-da. Knightsadine, capture him. That is his turn. So,
Knights
Guntir,
of Eve.
to
Do I
that
know who the
person.
Knights of Eve are?
you might. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
You're about to
Always
find
dex
out.
saves. Gah!
Are they shooting something like through the wall blindly, or?
No, it's those 2 who are on the others that are coming from behind Guntir now. One of them is throwing something at him.
That one's a
In like the general
13.
direction?
From you, the northwest.
Well, I
Although-
just meant like because of the wall. Of,
So,
like, blocking line of sight kind of
where
thing. If
the
it's like
wall-
a general area, that's fine, I guess. But
Yeah, it's not a general area. They can lob it over. Guntir can be seen from the high ground. Yeah.
right, because the road goes up. Okay, gotcha.
That was a 13.
13, that is a fail. Interestingly, though, go ahead and make a strength saving throw as well, because this is not designed for a large creature.
Yes. And I have advantage on those right now.
Yeah.
Nice. It was an 18, and then it was a natural 20.
Oh my god.
So as he throws this thing with
I'm
like
just hulking it.
he throws this metal thing, and you watch as it expands. Not unlike in certain ways the GamCube, actually. And as it expands, you see these multiple metal rings go out, like handcuffs, but like a dozen of them that seem to be like set up to trap an entire body. It just kind of hits you in the side, and it grabs onto you. It pinches you in the waist, and then just falls out.
Ah, my solar plexus!
Too small. However, yeah, that's kind of all they can do. Those 2 don't cast any magic. That is his turn. That is their turn. Heinrich, what do you want to do?
Flick him again.
Okay.
Shrink the wall a little more. Now it's 30 feet,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still completely encasing Guntir.
Sure.
So we got another 21 on him.
21. Okay. That hits.
Yep. Cool. 26 radiant.
Okay, nice.
Oh wait, no. Sorry, +5. I always keep forgetting my.
Okay.
It's been a minute since we've been in combat.
that ripple, this beam fires out, the celestial runes drifting off of that. It hits him again. He's pushed a little bit further back. You can hear a grunt. So you can't see where you're doing it from. He has no real idea. So well done. Anything else?
I can't see Guntir anymore. I was going to heal him with a bonus action, but unfortunately he is now out of line of sight.
Fair enough.
That's it.
With this, I would say, Shae, you see this first, and then Guntir, you don't really see this. Shae, you see from one of the buildings off to the east, from behind it, this tall figure, not as tall as these other individuals in this swirling melee are, but a woman maybe 6 feet tall. You can see she is wearing heavy plate mail armor. At her back, there is a warhammer. She has this gold pin that seems to be almost like the gate that you passed through when you first got here. And it holds this cloak of fur, this like brown, thick fur.
Maybe bear.
You can see, just looking to the left, looking to the right, trying to take all of this in. What level is this wall? What spell?
5th level.
5th level? Shae, you see her wave her hand and this wall just drop. She turns and looks. You can see the Dragonborn turns and looks. Guntir, you turn and you can see this bear of a woman standing there.
Back the shower.
Yeah.
Bad person!
She looks. You can see, and at this, Guntir, you can see the Dragonborn just throws the sword to the side, and it onto the ground. She looks over at you, Guntir. You see one of the eyes. There is this deep cut, this old scar that goes down, and you see on the cheek bone that it never fully grew over, that is like emerging from it. The eye a little bit more closed than the other one, but she levels her gaze at you. You can barely hear across the swirl of things that are happening. You actually don't even hear the voice. But there is this immediate connection between this woman, and you see the mouth move, and she's telling you to stop.
We've been looking for you!
That is her turn. That is going to bring us to Guntir. What do you want to do?
I guess I'm gonna see that the person that everyone has been telling me I'm not gonna get to talk to and I'm not gonna get to see. There she is. I'm proving them wrong. I'm like,
and she came to you.
Fight's over. She came to me. I'm gonna go talk to him. We're like, I've been looking for you all day. Where have you been?
Okay. She's 35 feet away from you. So you're walking 25 feet towards her?
Yeah. Very, very congenial.
Okay.
We've been looking all over. We've got so much to tell you. There's loads of stuff happening up north, and we're here to deal with it. This guy started the fight. He killed some people. Take him away.
6 seconds of speech, so I'll cut you off there. You begin to talk. You say about half of that getting forward. That is your turn. It is the Dragonborn's turn. On his turn, he's going to look at her, look at you, and he's just going to say, Urshima. And you can see there's like a pass of a glance there. On her turn, or Shae, technically, if you want to do anything at this point, you can step in.
You said the halfling was down, correct?
Yeah.
I want to go over and see if he's still technically alive, and if so, stabilize him.
Okay, you go over, you look, you can see shallow breaths. He's hurt, but yeah, go ahead and make a medicine check.
Why would we want to kill anyone in a city? It's
That's a natural 20, so that's a 25.
Natural 20. Great. And you can see all of a sudden the eyes shoot open, and he looks at you. He's like holding onto his chest, which is badly burned. His neck is like, the bubbles are no longer bubbling, but you can see like this angry inflammation. It's like a bad 3rd-degree burn across most of his neck and shoulder. But he is up with 1 hit point with that natural 20.
Tell him just to kind of lay still. Stay there.
Okay. You tell him that. That is your turn. That brings us to, it's his turn. He complies. He just kind of nods. Heinrich, what would you like to do?
Given that I'm still not noticed, I'm going to like just sort of turn and walk away.
Okay.
Like the fight's
Yeah.
over. I was a bystander. Like, that's over.
As far
Like,
as you can tell,
catching on to the situation. Like
as
I'm
far
blending
as you
in
can
and
tell,
walking away.
nobody notices you were gone. That is your turn. That brings us to her. She looks back at the dragonborn and just says, are any of you in range to hear her voice?
I'm like
Guntir,
5
maybe.
Yeah, Gunter, you would be able to. So yeah, you can see you're like you're like 10 feet away from her. She looks at the dragonborn. All right, you can see he pulls out this warhammer. On this, so this warhammer has like almost like metal rings that go all up the handle, the grip, the long part of the warhammer.
Shaft?
The shaft. Thank you. She turns and you hear the metal like grind against metal. She is going to take all of her attacks against you, Gunter.
Oh, wait, what? Ah!
And she's going to take them recklessly, so these are all at advantage.
Ah, jeez, I'm gonna be down.
That is a natural 20 and a 19 for the first roll.
Probably don't even bother rolling the damage.
I mean, it's not a tremendous amount of damage for each one.
Yeah, I don't have a tremendous amount of damage left.
So the first is going to be 19 points of bludgeoning.
I'm down.
Oh, okay. So instead of taking up to 9 attacks, the first one slams into your gut, and all of a sudden the air is driven from you, and in that moment, black just overtakes you.
I pretend, I
Gunter,
try to feign death, but I'm just like, "Ah!"
And suddenly, Gunter, you slowly retract into your previous state. You can see still the hammer there. She's about to swing it again as you drop. She stops, looks up at the Dragonborn. He just shakes his head at her. And she puts the hammer back, and I'm going to take you guys out of combat.
Oh boy.
There's a crowd now standing at a distance of roughly 50 feet at closest. There are not people cheering anymore.
So for
this has
the
become
record,
yes.
I am still large until this minute is up. So there's probably like a couple seconds left before I'm like on the ground. Just
It'll be
in the fetal
There's
position.
24 seconds of you just sitting there.
It'll be
in the
comedically
fetal
like
position,
while
then just like,
someone's talking. While someone's talking and like being dramatic, it's just in the background.
She turns her gaze to you, Shae, kind of kneeling over this body, and she crosses the distance to you. Gunter, you can't feel this, but she does unintentionally just step on one of Gunter's fingers, and you hear it break under the weight of this woman. But she stands over.
Wait, do I get to make a strength save against my bone breaking?
You're unconscious. So
Seeing
no.
her stand up, I would stand up to meet her.
Okay. She crosses the distance over to you. She is a full foot taller than you. Her shoulders, both the shoulders and the arms, are like she's broad enough that she can hold her hands out, and you could actually see space between her and you. She's a massive woman. Not especially fat, but definitely like has a stomach of like solid muscle. This is like gym coach build, you know?
Yep.
Short hair, shaggy, brown. You see the deep scar. You see the bones still kind of protruding. But she looks down at you. You.
Yes,
You saw what happened here.
I did.
Is he telling
Oh,
the truth? He
part of it.
nods the Dragonborn.
I only saw the end of it. I did not see what started it.
You're all causing problems again. You're confined to the inn in which you guys are all staying, and I'll be by and we'll have words. The Dragonborn, you can, and Gunter isn't here to see this, but even for those of you, Shae, who are unfamiliar with this guy, you can see it takes a lot to not respond to that. But he nods.
Do you mind if I look after the wounded for a moment?
Make a persuasion check.
That's a 15.
Very well, Zinni. Do what you need to, but do not leave my sight.
Of course not.
Guards! And he calls some guards over. Heinrich, do you stay so that you can see what's happening?
Yeah, I think I would just go blend into the crowd a little more, though. I mean, as best as
So-
antlers can blend, poking up above people's heads.
All right.
But
So
crowd
Shae
man.
and Heinrich, you see guards approaching with cuffs towards Guntir. You can see this tall woman kind of standing there. The Dragonborn is beginning to turn and head off back towards the kind of area where all the inns are.
I actually, seeing that, the cuffs
Okay.
come out, I'm going to be retreating sort of back to the inn, and I'm
Okay.
going to have Nod do the where are they taking him scouting.
Okay, so you duck into an alley and begin to circumnavigate the situation. And as you do, like right as you step into the alleyway, Nod just kind of appears and stays and just kind of takes off and begins to do this little reconnaissance sweep. So you heading into the alleyway, Nod flying off into the air, Guntir bleeding on the ground, Morwen off doing other things. And Shae, you now confronting this woman. Because it is 11:20 already, we're going to take a really quick break for 10 minutes, and then we're going to have a quick little second half to follow some Morwen things and do that kind of stuff. So it is 11:20. We will be back at 11:30. We'll see you then.
Woo.
Whew. Welcome back to Adventures in Alberon, where 3 out of 4 members of the Finger Gang are definitely leaving tonight. A lot has happened in the first half of this session, and so for those of you who have who've been here, thank you so much for joining in. We're just going to get right back into it because we only have a little bit of time. Morwen,
Yes, sir.
you run from this battle, keys in hand. You duck into an alleyway between 4 houses, kind of an intersection, and holding this ring. It would fit around your fist and almost be like the size of a bracelet. And it has like 16 or 17 different keys on it.
Oh, damn. That's a lot.
It
There's
is.
1,000 gates to
Alright.
try them on.
I start trying them all.
Okay, what do you
Where were the guards running from? Like, is there a centered point where they were running from that I'm like, oh, these keys probably fit into that stuff?
In this military city full of castles, strongholds, and 1,000 gates to be manned, they were coming from all over. Not one central point. If you want, you can just kind of look around and see if there's an unguarded military-looking thing.
I mean, I'm gonna be doing this all a little rushed because, again, I'm trying to do it in the midst of like them being distracted. Like,
Mhm.
if we were to backtrack, you know, like
Sure,
the whole
yeah.
fight is still happening and like
Yeah.
they're just huge and on fire as far
Yep.
as I know. Well, I'm sure I see it actually because I'm not like, you know, running 100 feet away. So I guess just in the immediate vicinity.
Make a perception check.
18.
As it would happen, so you remember before there are these kind of bell towers that seem to be maybe an alarm system throughout the city here and there. They do have these large double-doored kind of iron with rivets in them, and they generally are locked. Generally, there's at least one person in the top and one person at the base of it. Looking at this one really quickly, you don't see anybody inside or anybody at the front. In terms of like military things or things that might belong to the city, that's the only thing that you see in the immediate vicinity.
Okay. I'll go with that, but I'm gonna go sneaky.
Okay, make a stealth check.
Lovely. Natural 20, 35. What's the-
Okay. Well, you
Next.
disappear. You stick to the sides of these buildings. It's like 2:00 in the afternoon. All of a sudden, as you're walking, this wall of light appears, and everybody's eyes are pulled in, and you feel invisible. You just walk.
And I'm just like,
No problem
oh,
up to this front door.
Heinrich arrived finally. Cool.
Yeah. You walk over. You hear in the distance as Shae Ip-Mans this thief into the ground. But yeah, you walk up to these front doors. You cross the 3 steps up. There is this large keyhole that you would imagine a key would go into. There are, looking quickly at this thing, maybe 3 keys that would go, but really quick, 1, 2, 3. Carrying over the ease of your travel with that stealth, you find one that turns and the door like moves like a foot or not a foot, an inch out, and you imagine you can just kind of pull it if you want.
Okay.
You pull the door open. It glides fairly easily on these hinges. In front of you, there is a table. You can see it looks like a little, like a notebook, leather bound, but like a couple pieces of paper in there. There's a quill across it and a little inkwell. You can see behind that, not a fire going in it, but a fireplace. The length of it seems to travel up to the top of the tower. Looking up, interesting point, you can see all the way up, like 25 feet. You see like the little thing that rings inside the bell. And you can see the outside of the bell and just a little bit of sky on the other sides before it reaches up into the point at the top of the tower. You can see stairs that go and wind around that space. And then there is a little bit of a floor. So there is like a second floor up there.
Okay. I'm gonna I've been playing The Witcher a lot, so I'm gonna just like straight up like steal everything.
Okay.
Just like, oh, inkpot, sick. Oh my god, journal. Okay, I'll read that later.
Okay. And you're
So I
doing this
take-
down here and upstairs?
Yeah.
Roll an investigation check.
Where is my... Okay. That is a 13.
A 13? Okay. You take that little notebook and just quickly looking at it, it's just a long list of names. Names, times, and then a bunch of other words that like really don't mean anything to you because
Cool.
At
reading.
all?
I mean, it's common and it looks like, you see the word assault, you see the word um, uh, larceny.
Those are too big for Morwen.
I was about to say more.
Yeah,
What was those words?
I'm trying to look at the easier one.
Assault? What?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I'm not really sure what that
Funny
means.
name.
Theft, you would see. Yeah, you see theft.
Oh, theft,
But
I
it seems
know.
to be maybe like a list of crimes or something like that. But yeah, you take this inkwell, you take a quill, you go back, and where there is kind of a counter, you quickly just open up these cabinets. There is like a decanter of water and a few nice little glasses, actual glasses. So you can add it. Okay, it's just a glass pitcher of water and then 4 glasses. Also within there, there's like a discarded, looks like a very faded red pillow that at some point would have been like a throw cushion somewhere. So you can add that as you want. There are 3 candles and a
How are you
candlestick.
carrying all of this?
You go up the stairs. If you wish, you can take the torch off the wall as you pass.
Wait, I took candles. How many candles?
3 candles and 1
Okay.
candlestick.
3 candles. Candlestick.
You
Can't
go
wait for you to
upstairs.
drop all of this dramatically when you find out
Yeah.
Guntir is being arrested.
There are 2 torches on the way up. Do you take those as well?
Absolutely.
Okay, you can add 2 torches to your inventory. They are not currently lit, like the fire.
Good.
You get up to this top floor. There are 3 cells up here. Very small. They're like, there is room to maybe sit down and put your back against the wall. You couldn't extend your legs out to the door. The doors are barred and ironed. There's nobody currently occupying these.
Okay.
You can see there is a chair. At the base of the chair,
No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
if you-
I'm just kidding. No.
it's a wicker chair. There's like peeling yellow paint on it. It's not a great chair, but you can have it if you want.
No.
There is also around like there's like a little the chair supports go up into these 2 little points, and around one of them there's a pair of manacles that are just kind of dangling there.
I take it.
Okay, you can have manacles.
Gunter's gonna be so happy with all these things.
I know, it's so exciting. There's an apple with a bite taken out of it. You can see the white part now very brown.
take it.
Probably they were eating it as they came. You have most of an apple in your inventory. With a 13 at a quick glance, that's kind of all that you really see up here.
All right, so now that I'm like in this tower, because it's like open right at the top where I'm at.
So the walls here go up like 8 feet, and then there's like these 4 open parts. On each corner, a stone arch kind of goes up to form the point of the tower. Just 8 feet above you is that big hanging bell.
Okay. Can I potentially try to climb so I can get eyesight on the fight?
Sure. Make an acrobatics or athletics check, your choice.
Acrobat. Well, does climbing? I mean,
Oh, you have a climbing speed. Yeah, never mind. No problem.
I was thinking like I don't know this stones.
Yeah, no. But this is, I mean, because of the elements of these these like big field stones, you can easily find purchase. So you scamper out, you go up, you go out, you stick your head out and climb and hold on. And for just a moment, it's like this King Kong stance and like wide pan of the scene. It's like Assassin's Creed when you're up at the top. You see this whole thing laid out in front of you. You see giant Guntir just get hit right in the face with a hammer and drop to the ground. You see bodies. You see like a couple dead people on the ground there. There are guards kind of moving to and from. Interesting point. Make a perception check while you're up there.
17. Oh, sorry, 18.
18. Great. You can see there are a lot of members of the garrison kind of moving in this direction. You also see, with this large kite shield on their back, little glimmering bits of light, even from here visible. It is a shield of Sarental, similar to Jaskar Husk, who you encountered back on this. Different. This is a
That's cute. Okay.
this is a female. You can see
Okay.
on the other side of this shield, there is a halberd that's hanging vertically with the point up. You can see a dagger on her belt, and this woman is bald. You also see for just an instant a flicker of movement somewhere right behind this bear of a woman who you, thinking about it, probably the woman you were looking for previously, and then it's gone at this distance, even with that roll. Not sure what that was.
All right, so I see Guntir go down. I know what that means.
Yeah, he's probably fine. Just wake up.
And there's a big bell behind me. And I think I'll just leave. No,
Okay.
I'm going to ring that bell.
Okay. The metal part is about this big.
Oh, it's a small
Just for fun.
bell?
The ball is this big.
Oh,
The bell
so it's a big
itself,
bell.
yes.
The clapper.
You take it and are you just gonna like swing it into the bell?
You know what? Just because I'm crazy and I think this sounds fun, since I'm kind of like perched on this window, I'm gonna kind of like jump and grab it and be like, dude, hang
Okay.
on.
No problem. You stretch your back out, arching it like a cat, and then swing your momentum into the building. There's a brief second where you spread like your arms and legs out, and then you clasp on like a baby koala to this bell. The bell swings with the momentum, and gong, gong. Suddenly, all of you hear the bell. The woman looks, the Dragonborn walking away looks. You can see the woman brings the hammer out. Suddenly, in the distance, gong, gong. Other bells all along the wall begin to go. From various points around, everybody but Guntir can hear, "We're under attack! To the gates!" And then all of this movement begins to change. The woman quickly going back down to the Guntir area. Shae, you see this woman take the hammer out and turn to her right where there is nobody. Do what you need to. And she begins moving off in that direction. In front of you, there is this kind of flicker of movement. With your passive perception of 20, or 7, what is it? You
20.
have 21?
20. Passive
20.
is 20.
You're still unable to see anything there, but you feel something. And suddenly, almost like this shimmer, like a line appears of blackness, and it's as if a two-dimensional image becomes three-dimensional. You see in front of you black leather armor, like dark black and matte. You can see elements that might have at one point been silver, but there's been this oil smeared across to kill the luster of it. He's probably only about 5'10", but you can see the helm that he wears has these almost jagged sort of pieces that go out behind to form a neck guard. You can see behind him, crossed over behind his hips, there are two sickles. They go straight out and then both hook like a curve. He is going to cross over to Guntir. Are you doing anything, Shae?
Yes. I want to go over and try to stabilize Guntir.
Okay.
First of all.
Are you racing him there?
Yes.
Okay. As you do, he's going to hold out a hand for you to stop. And the head looks up at you. You can see one of the eyes through the helm, but the face, it's like the shadows in the helm cling to it. You can't quite make out what he looks like, although the eyes, this unnervingly light shade of brown. Stop. And he takes a couple steps towards you.
I will. This man is dying. Can I please stabilize him?
He is dying because that is what he is meant to do. And he pulls from behind him both of these kind of scythed blades. He takes another step forwards and another, and Guntir ends up just over top, just kind of stepping, like straddling you from behind.
I'm gonna step in front of him.
Okay, you step in front of him. He looks up.
Regardless of what he may or may not have done, this is not justice.
He puts the sword so that each one, the hooks, are on either side of Guntir's neck. These eyes still regarding you from this clinging shadows. I am one of the Shade Wardens of Nocturne. This man is not who he says he is. This is the Gazelle. This is one who has been hunted for some time. Perhaps his crimes didn't originate here, but they will end here.
Regardless, I need him, please.
Guntir, in this brief instant, you feel yourself kind of pulled to and from consciousness. You see elements of the ground kind of swimming watery through the tears of pain that are kind of like running down your old wrinkled face. Do you have any last words?
Oh no! Oh no!
Not actions, right? I can't divine intervention.
Any last words, Guntir?
Oh my god, that's so fucked up.
I will return him to you when I'm finished. Please let me have him.
He looks up again. You can see he'd already started moving, and so in Gunter's neck, like the blade cuts a little bit and blood just kind of begins to run kind of freely. But he stops and he looks up at you. You do not know who you are vouching for.
I don't.
Of the Finger Gang. We watch and we listen. The walled city is a city of secrets, but none from us.
And you may continue to watch, but please, I need him.
What do you need of
He
this?
knows the location of the Cold Forge, and he has the secrets to restore something I have lost. I need it.
Make a persuasion check.
That's a
Sweaty.
18.
Gunter, do you have any last words?
Oh no! Oh.
Shae.
That's your last words, is Shae.
Hey, are we going north now?
Oh my god.
You can see Gunter's kind of storm blue eyes drift up once in a very long time, settling on you. And there is a quick flicker of motion. Gunter's still looking at you before the head just falls.
Oh Jesus!
And
Oh,
Gunter,
no.
You are dead.
Oh! Oh Jesus!
Oh my god. What is Morwen truly going to do? Carry your head or New Frank?
Oh my god.
Holy shit!
You can see he looks up at you, Shae. I'm sorry for what you have lost. But the world has not lost anything today.
The world has lost everything today.
You see he stretches, becomes this two-dimensional line, and seems to disappear.
Oh my god.
And when the world
Quick, put it
burns,
in some ice.
Sorry, what was that?
and when the world burns, this place shall go first.
Hopefully he heard that.
Put it in some ice, quick.
So Gunter's head on the ground, separated from his body.
Sew it back
Blood
up.
runs out onto the street. You can see this large arterial spurt that spreads almost 5 feet away from the body.
Ah,
The guards arrive. You can see one of them kind of picks Gunter's head up by the beard. It kind of swings freely, blood on the
Wow.
street.
ah.
Oh no.
Oh Jesus!
And you know what? Because it's 11:50,
Yeah, I mean that's like I can't imagine where we would like continue from here.
Oh,
and with Gunter dead,
Ugh.
oh my
this is where we're
god.
going to end for tonight.
It
So-
finally
Wow.
happened.
First
Yeah.
death in 2 years, though. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh my
It
god.
took only 100 tries.
We all
Oh,
almost
wow.
died at the hands of a dragon, so at least
Oh my
we
god.
made it past that to this point. But fucked.
All Gunter's past finally caught up to him.
Yeah.
How many passes did you write? Because I feel like each one was just a level of difficulty where this is inevitable.
I'm truly so nervous about how Morwen's gonna react to this.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
This is not gonna be a healthy
No,
reaction.
Morwen's gonna
Yeah.
become a less wide-eyed like kid of the world and more like a
Morgan's already
about
like
everything.
from very, I work in mental health, from like the very basic kind of tenets of Morwen. She's probably Morwen's almost a sociopath already.
I was
Oh
gonna
yeah,
say,
absolutely.
So yeah, that's going to be really interesting.
Can't wait to see like evil Morwen and whatever Matt your next character is, and see if
Oh yeah, now I
they'll
need to
mesh.
figure out what
If they'll
that's gonna
mesh.
be.
I mean, I'll be honest too. I don't know if Morwen's gonna stick around if Gunter's not there. Just saying.
That's also, I mean, that would be understandable in a way, but
Yeah.
also, where would you go? What would you do?
None of your damn business.
All right, fair enough. Fucking hell.
So unfortunately, session 65 of this campaign, 2 years in, Guntir has finally died.
Oh,
Which honestly,
man.
you kept him alive longer than I thought, considering how much shit he's gotten into.
Yeah.
But
Ah.
yeah, starting
It
shit
wasn't
in a
even-
town they explicitly
didn't
told you
even
not to start shit in.
Tonight is a night of mourning, for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because if that hadn't happened, you guys are going to meet so many of these people in a very different way. But that's yeah,
It's all because that stupid dragonborn.
Mhm.
You know, maybe your next character might want to be a little bit more diplomatic towards
A little
people
less
who-
off the cuff reactionary.
Yeah, because that also would have led you in a whole interesting place. But
Where's the fun
that
in
road
that?
is closed. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you guys very much for joining us for Adventures in Alberon, and are we all back next week?
Not
I don't know
Gunter.
anymore.
We're gonna
No,
need
just kidding.
need new outro art, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the RIP.
Oh my
the
god, and I
RIP
just
outro
got
art.
the new hero forge. Oh
Yeah, I know it sucks. So
Just make
Thank
another
you
one
guys
that
very
looks
much.
like it.
we've actually
yeah,
me and Matt have
Don't
talked
worry.
about this before.
I've
All
got
right.
my backup character. His name is Bunter.
I feel like you out of all of us have made the most backup characters too.
Yeah.
You had so many like, well, this is it. Oh, okay. Back
Yeah.
pocket that
yeah,
one.
that's the problem is that I've already like utilized multiple backup characters that like I'm scraping at the bottom of the barrel now.
Well, we can talk. We'll talk this week a little bit about it, because all those most of those backup characters are still alive,
That's true.
and they're doing stuff. So,
That's true.
you happen to know that Perry Colo is not that far away.
That's
No,
also
you
true.
guys aren't in the north anymore, so yeah, he is pretty far away now. But either way,
Wait, Tina, you muted.
we'll figure that kind of stuff
I was
out.
gonna say we're going that way, so theoretically.
Maybe eventually.
Thank you guys very much. Have a great night. Stay safe out there. We'll see you next week.
Bye.